Yes, sir. We're back. Biggest week of boxing. Frank Bay live. Boxing will never leave you. You know, biggest fight weekend of the year coming up. Salute, salute. Looks like somebody already in the chat. The trolls are here and live and direct. Damn, Mike, what the hell's going on? But you guys want to hear some boxing? I'm here to talk boxing. Let's get to an intro first, and we'll be back to cook.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Frank Bay, talking that boxing biz, say your opinion, but you don't say it. What it is, you know that it's Frank Bay, popping that boxing biz, but you don't mean it. Frank Bay, Frank to the busy bay, that's right, you know that it's Frank Bay. Frank Bay, popping that boxing biz, say your opinion, but you
All right, got the intro out of the way. We will get to the the boxing news and notes. So as you know, it is Monster Inoue. It's kind of going under the radar, right? Little bit under the radar. Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez are the main attraction here, right? It is Cinco de Mayo weekend, the Super Bowl of boxing. Let me add some eye candy. Tracy Cortez, I guess she's in the headlines, right? I guess she said Brian Ortega, she was dating a UFC fighter, and he says she's a toxico. Salute, Matador. Thank you. Hit the like, subscribe, share. Share. Let people know Frank Bay is out here talking on these boxing streets. That's right. That's right. Tracy Cortez, is she doing it for you guys? I don't know. I think she's a little thirst trap. You know what I'm saying? She has all the markings of a skonka. But yeah, man, that's what it is. Just something for you guys to enjoy. But it's boxing, man. It's boxing. It's the biggest week of boxing. It is the Super Bowl of boxing. Frank Bay, salute. Thank you, Technique. Right? Are you guys juiced yet? Are you guys excited? Is it a little less because Canelo Alvarez is not headlining? Does it take something away? Do you guys miss the days of Floyd Fraud Mayweather headlining Cinco de Mayo and September 16th? Or do you miss Oscar de la Hoya when he was in charge of the day? Now it's David El Monstro Benavidez trying to take the date. Can he take over for Canelo Alvarez? Can he fill that void? Traditionally, obviously they want a Latino, Mexican fighter to take the date, right? But who's come surprisingly is that on that date there's Monster Inoue. The Monster Inoue, the little Japanese guy from 122, fought at the lower weight classes. He'll be taking on Junto Nakatani. Are you guys excited for that? Do us USA fans, Mexican Latino fans, do we care about these lower weights? Do we care about the little Japanese fella? He's going to be fighting at 7 in the morning. Does that take away from it? To me, and actually it'll be on DAZN, right? It's going to be on DAZN. The fight, I believe, usually it was Top Rank, but now the Top Rank is with DAZN. They will be showing it on DAZN, and luckily for the fans, it is not pay-per-view, so we get a little bonus. But how do you guys feel about it? Is anybody excited? I don't hear a lot of buzz for Junto Nakatani. Is it because he's all the way in the Far East? Is that what it is? So Tom Gray, he say, yo, Frank to the busy base. Salute Sarge. Thank you. That's right. That's right. I've seen people say that Inoue will beat Nakatani easily, because that's what I'm hearing. Also, while that might happen, we still have Jeopardy because Jeopardy, I guess he means the game. Because Nakatani's a class act, a pound-for-pound entrant, and a knockout artist. Probably the most beloved fight in boxing history is Hagler versus Hearns. Hagler won all 3 rounds. I'm just happy we're here. Okay, so basically, they're promoting the super fight. I guess it's sold out in like minutes. This is the biggest fight ever in the Tokyo Dome. Yeah, I got Inoue catching Nakatani. Telekinesis Sports. Sorry, had to school you on George Dixon. He's a big name in history. Okay, thank you, Telk. I have no idea what you're talking about. As a Jap, I'm staying up. As an honoree, well, Jap is derogatory. I've been not wanting to say Jap because that's derogatory. It is Japones. right? For our brethren from the opposite side of the world, the land of the rising sun. Nakatani has he's got a lot of credit and he's got a lot of hate. I think I just gotta be honest when I say it. There's a certain demographic, the Shakur Twitterson fans, the Davina Hankey fans. You got the receipts. I don't know even know what you're talking about, Telk. Honestly, I gotta be 100%. I have no idea what you're talking about. You ask strange questions sometimes, and I just oblige. But anyway, Junto Nakatani, right? This is a big fight for the Japanese. This is a historic fight. It may be the biggest fight ever, but it happens. It's happening at 122, and it's not really for Americans. So, I know we'll be talking about David Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez, and the all Mexican showdown with the Jaime Munguia, Amado Resendiz on the undercard. That's we'll talk about that. But I kind of wanted to highlight this fight because I feel like Americans, even Latino Mexican fans, Mexicans and Latinos, they're really big in boxing, but I don't think they're focused on the Hoya Inoue. I just got to be honest. It doesn't seem like we really care that much, but I think this fight is going under the radar. What I mean is I think Hoya Inoue is poised for an upset. And I was thinking about this, if you look at the thumbnail, you got to do something that'll catch the eyes and get the attention of the people. So could this be a trap? Could Hoya Inoue be poised for an upset? And what I was thinking, I think when we see people, Frank Bay, Diaper Dandy, thank you. That's right. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. But when you think about boxing, right? You think about the legends of the past. And when we mean legends, what do we talk about? I'll get up early in the morning for this. Yeah. You're going to have to. That's what sucks, right? I think it's actually usually the last May when Hoya Inoue fought, it was the following Sunday morning. So it was like we could watch the fight, sleep, and then wake up again. But this one, you're going to have to be up all Cinco de Mayo. Well, May 2nd, it's Cinco de Mayo weekend. So you'll be up in the morning and then maybe take an afternoon nap. So it kind of throws a lot of shit off. But Hoya Inoue, right? He's in Salute Eric Gomez. He's number one pound for pound. Junto Nakatani, a pound for pound fighter. You have a historic pound for pound matchup, sold out in minutes. Will be the biggest fight in Japanese history. I mean, this is massive. But over here on the stateside, Sushi Monster Inoue. Yes, man. This guy, we're talking about the number one pound for pound fighter fighting, and there's not enough excitement. I think, it just goes to show that we're really not boxing fans. I mean, we say we're boxing fans. We follow the Canelos. We follow the Bud Snackfords. Inoue's number one pound for pound since Bud Snackford retired. And I guess Mauricio Suleiman was in the news talking about Bud Crawford is a coward. He put a cowardly move. Telk says, bring your Scante or Red Bull for Saturday in the early. Yeah, it's going to be early in the AM. That crack baby heavyweight last night was total dud. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. We seen if you watch the fight, I kind of nodded off. They were just like love tapping. It was very sloppy. You had a 300-pound man, could barely move. They were kind of humping, wrestling. It wasn't necessarily the sweet science, and trust me, I'm not talking about dance around the ring. But there's the opposite of dancing around the ring when you got two big lugs just laying on each other, and they were completely exhausted. So, I mean, it's entertainment. They were slugging it out. Baby Miller pulls the win, but do you really see anything? Finally caught one from the beginning. Oh, yeah. I think you were hating on my intro, too. Salute BDA. He's been breaking down the fights. Drop a super chat on BDA. He's doing a lot of work for you guys behind the scenes. Missed the fight. Did the chest hair Miller glutes his headstand this time? Yeah, I think he just came in bald. He said it was a weird story, but that was the highlight of the Shakur Twitterson fight, right? As Baby Miller. But a WBC child support deadbeat baby daddy. Yeah. Yeah, all the boxing news, right? This is the Super Bowl. So if there was a Super Bowl in boxing, this would be the Super Bowl. So not only do we have the Mexican Monster, an all Mexican showdown, but we have Junto Naoya Inoue, the number one pound for pound in many rankings, and Junto Nakatani, another pound for pound fighter. But one thing that came on my mind was, do we want to see Naoya Inoue lose? Is that the mystique around the zero? That is my topic and my question for you guys today. From Frank Bay's mouth to your ears, I want this to really stick in your mind. Okay? Think about this. When we see these guys with stellar records, 35-0, like Jaron Ennis, 35-0 will be taking on undefeated Xander Zayas. You know, the mystique around the zero is everything in boxing. It really is. If you really think about it, the O means everything. And I don't mean that from a casual perspective. I mean that from our desire when we watch sports. And I'll give you the examples. To see the top dog beat. Is it time that we want to see Naoya Inoue beat? You know, that's what we want to see. You know, when the Patriots were running, this is one of my examples. When the New England Patriots had their run, we wanted to see them lose. You know, they got 7 Super Bowls, but we want to see them getting beat. When the New York Yankees, they're winning every championship, you want to see the top dog go down. Now in baseball, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're the top dogs. They can buy every player. We want to see them lose. A better loss for Inoue is versus Bam. But that's my question to you guys. Does the number one pound for pound ranking, does it kind of not make you want to see the monster defeated? You know, everybody's counting out Junto Nakatani. The Dodgers. There was a time that they weren't very good, and then they got all the money, they got all the bread, they can buy every player. So, you know, as fans, you know, so if you're not a Dodger fan, if you're in New York, you're in Seattle, you're in Texas, you know, you root against the Dodgers, the Yankees, the New England Patriots. You know, we root against the favorite, right? That's what the Floyd Mayweather sat his hat on, is the O. We paid to see him lose his O. Well, I mean, you know, that's what they marketed it as. But now we see Shakur Twitterson, Davina Hankey, you know, all these guys with zeros, even Stankonia Davis, right? The zeros, everything. This is Inoue. It doesn't get, there's not a fighter above Naoya Inoue. And I mean that on every level, from mentally, physically, he destroys his opponents. But is it time that we want to see him lose? If Inoue loses Nakatani, the Bam fight loses some shine. I agree, and that's the other thing about these super mega fights, is that they're already asking Inoue about Bam Rodriguez. It's like, you know, the one thing I don't like seeing in sports is when an opponent starts looking ahead to the next fighter. Why are they already mentioning Bam Rodriguez as if him beating Nakatani is a given? I mentioned this in the last live. Inoue right now has that aura of invincibility. The only time I can remember a fighter having this aura was probably Michael Gerard Tyson. You know, the biggest upset in boxing history, I think, was Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas. I think Mike Tyson was like 100. Buster Douglas was a 40-1 underdog. You know, there was a time I remember my uncles, you know, it was all about Julio Cesar Chavez had the aura of invincibility. He had 89-0. Decent, real small dudes. Yeah, and I think it loses a lot of luster, especially for us here in the States. Tell yo, what's good, son? Tarzan, Green Star, Sazzy, are pretty. Whoa, what a name. Nakatani has angles that trouble Inoue. In big fights, there's a possibility of kayfabe performance. So Telk with his conspiracy theories. But let me ask you, the chat, the boxing fans, the knowledgeable fans. You know, if you're following this fight, it's pretty much you're not a casual. You know, the casual boxing fan, they will be following Zurdo Ramirez. They'll be following David Mexican Monster Benavidez, and those are even, you know, you have to be a borderline casual hardcore to even know Benavidez, right? The casual fan that knows Canelo probably, maybe, might know David Benavidez, and if they do, it's only associated with the Canelo Alvarez, right? Bray, thank you. Nakatani is going to KO, and Inoue with that overhand left. Lesser fighters than Nakatani have landed that punch on Inoue. So here we go. We're shaking things up. Bray says that he's going to catch the monster Inoue. And that's what I mean. I think secretly, you know what? When Tszyu was fighting at 89-0, people wanted to see him beat. Even if Mike Tyson was tearing through divisions, they wanted to see him beat. Felix Tito Trinidad, was getting up there with the undefeated record. People wanted to see him get beat. The higher you go undefeated in seasons in basketball, baseball. You're setting records, your home run records. And what that does, that makes people want to see you lose. The higher you go in sports, or maybe even just acting, music, the higher you go, it could even be here on YouTube, on podcasting, right? If you start to outshine your competition, you get more views, you get more clicks, people want to see you fall. I'm actually seeing that all on social media, right? I guess this girl, Krishan Rock, was just fighting. She was fighting. She's been in a dumpster dive. Klay Thompson, Megan Thee Stallion, there's that news. I don't know if you guys are following these things, but what I'm saying is, like Clarissa Shields, people want to see her lose. When you get this aura of invincibility, what naturally happens, people want to see you challenged and tested. And I think that's just human nature. And I think this is happening to Monster Inoue. This is supposed to be his toughest test. If Inoue's monster like Godzilla, then Bam is King Kong. Well, I mean, look, Bam is neither here nor there. I think they need to build that fight. They need to work their way up. But specifically, I'm talking about the invincible aura of Naoya Inoue. He has that aura of invincibility, just like Alexander Usyk. Megan Thee Stallion, my next side piece. Can you even get to her? She seems kind of like a skonka. All these skonkas, man. All these dudes want these skonkas. It's crazy. I think people dislike Clarissa for other reasons. Because she's a loudmouth skonka. Nobody really cares for Clarence. Right. But we do want to see her lose. I know I do. Is it just because she doesn't have competition, or is it she's ducking stiffer competition? It's hard to say, right? Because the women's boxing is shallow. She just seems like a heifer. She's just got a loud mouth. She talks a lot of shit because she's undefeated. Her whole aura of invincibility is built upon undefeated. Great weekend coming up, Frankie. Exactly. That's what we're here to talk about. I know we will be talking about Zurdo Ramirez and Benavidez, but this live is really to focus on Monster Inoue. I feel it's going on the radar, and for good reason. I think it like I said, it will be on the zone, with Top Rank in their deal. But I really want to know, man, is Monster Inoue poised for an upset loss? I mean, we've seen him vulnerable. We've seen him dropped by lesser fighters. I really feel that Junto Nakatani is flying under the radar. This guy's long. He's rangy. He can fight off the back foot. He can come forward. I think he's highly underestimated, underrated right now. I mean, the last guy he fought, the Granny Channel. What? Oh, you guys are talking about something else. Africans for Frank Bay and Cinco de Mayo. That's right. Cinco de Mayo is a culturally appropriate holiday, right? But for boxing, this is everything. This is everything for boxing. This is the Super Bowl, NBA Finals, March Madness, all wrapped in one. We don't have any official boxing holidays, but when you're on this day as a fighter, this is your day to become a legend, right? Fraud Mayrunner, Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, all on this date. This is boxing's biggest week. And if you're a content creator, if you're a boxing fan, this is the day, man. This is the day when all eyes will be on boxing. Salute Frank Bay. Thank you, Pounds. War Benavidez. That's right, man. I mean, look, man, this is what it all comes down to. This is your opportunity for Inoue, David Benavidez. This is your opportunity to become a legend. This is where legends are made. Cinco de Mayo even a holiday in Mexico? Oh, not even. Yeah. I mean, look, it's just a day for gringos to get tequila shots and nachos, right? Like Taco Tuesdays become a thing, gringos and African Americans. Look, I look, it's better for boxing. The only other day that rivals it is September 16th. But even that I feel is like it's Cinco de Mayo. It doesn't get any bigger than Cinco de Mayo, right? Well, it's gonna be May 2nd, but it is around that day, that weekend. So be safe that day. But this was the biggest day for me and my family. Growing up, this was the day the fam got together. It was almost like Christmas because, like, the reason I'm even here on the mic talking about boxing is that this was the day we all got together to watch Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez. This is the boxing, Super Bowl. Sid Boxing, he says Cinco de Mayo don't mean shit over here in England apart from a day Canelo normally fights. I even forgot about Canelo Alvarez holding this date. September is Mexican independence. It's bigger in Mexico. Right. So those are the two dates. If September 16th is the World Series, then Cinco de Mayo is the Super Bowl, right? As far as for American fans, where we're at and when me and my family got around. But this is the biggest money-making day in boxing. So, either I went to the bar, I went to the movie theater to watch the fight, our family got together, Cinco de Mayweather. Is that when he would culturally appropriate, wear sombreros and things? Yeah, man. I mean, this is the day. This is the day. Boxing's been slow the past couple of weeks, but this is the day that people get together. If you have a cookout and you really focus on boxing, there's nothing else going on. I think baseball is in infancy stages. There's no football, so boxing takes the sole focus. And I think that's important, Boxing really doesn't have any other notable dates, that you can point at. Football and baseball have the World Series, Super Bowl, they have the playoffs, they have countless dates, in their calendar years. But in boxing, it's really rare that you get super fights. Especially nowadays, right? We don't really have many super fights. We're already halfway through the year, and the only super fight we had was Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, which really, really failed. Ryan Garcia came along, but that wasn't necessarily a mega super fight. So, hopefully it goes well, and boxing is back. They promote it really well, and it does well. But from what I'm hearing and seeing, it doesn't look like it. Thoughts on Oscar going to the Ali Act hearing? Well, Pounds, it looks like it didn't do too well. It didn't go over well with Oscar. He says it's pretty much a done deal. They're going to pass the Ali Act reform. Yeah, I was going to get to that, but it honestly doesn't look too good for boxing, what they're trying to stop from Zuffa, Nick Khan, Dana White trying to take over boxing. Look, people want boxing to be taken over. From what I've seen from the media, from the overwhelming majority of boxing people on YouTube, Twitter, they want boxing to change. And I don't blame them. If you've been following boxing, you know boxing has been a shit show. People do not care for the belt organizations anymore. So maybe it's time for a change, man. Maybe it's time to see something new. Sid Boxing Fu got Champion League football this weekend, followed by double boxing Saturday, Liverpool. Oh, okay, so soccer. Well, yeah, the World Cup is a special event. Is that what you're talking about? I don't really follow soccer, sorry. Yeah, Dana's plugged in with Trump. Well, they already knew that. That was a given. Oscar is cooked. But does that mean boxing is cooked? Look, boxing will survive. Boxing will be here to the end of time, because it's so easy to get into. You and I can get into boxing. It doesn't take much to become a fighter. I mean, how many cans have you seen being like, I could do better than this guy? You could become a manager tomorrow. It does not take, you can go to Tijuana and get on BoxRec. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to get into boxing. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. But my only problem with the Zuffa the Zuffa Dana White thing is I don't really like the idea of a boxing promoter having their own belt as well. I don't like that. That's the the main apex of the argument is that basically any promoter can create their own belt, which would create 10 more belts. Which would be a travesty for boxing if it's not already a shit show, right? But we'll see. We'll see. It looks like there'll be more, but right now it looks like it's a done deal. It looks like the Zuffa Boxing is poised for a takeover. They have the money, they have the dates, they have the TV, the Paramount. We will just have to wait and see. But it looks, what I'm seeing from the fans on Twitter, on X, on Instagram, basically all of social media, I'm seeing people are ready for the takeover. They just want something different. You know, Mauricio Solomon is on talking about shit about Bud Crawford still. And most people are not going to side with the WBC belt. They're not going to side with Suleiman. You know, whether you think Bud Crawford stiffed them, it doesn't really matter. You know, what really matters in today's age and time is the court of public opinion. That's what matters. You know, the truth is subjective. You know, the truth really right now is whatever you can convince yourself. The truth is whatever you can convince somebody. So if you can convince somebody the boxing is shit show and needs to be changed, how can you convince that person that it doesn't? We've seen the corruption. We've seen belt orgs hold guys off from not getting their title shots. Dana helping boxing. Yeah, and if you believe that, I can't convince you. How can I convince you a solid argument that no, boxing doesn't need to change? We all know it needs to change. So it's hard to convince people that it doesn't if that's what you're saying. Too many belts fucked up the boxing game. Yeah. I agree, and I don't. Okay, the belts are good for boxers. See, that's the thing. As fans, we not to fail to understand, but we don't take into account. The belts are good for boxers. They make more money, right? If you follow other sports, right? If you follow baseball, you follow basketball, they have more than one champion every season. If you really think about it, right? They have an Eastern Division, a Western Division, a North Division. They have a West Coast League. They have an East Coast League, right? They have the divisions. They're East, West, or North, South, and they get titled. They get called the East Champion. That's how I look at the belts. The belts, there's 4 like divisions, and you determine the champion by having the division winners meet up. That's what the playoffs are for. When you look at basketball, right? Even college basketball, they have they're all divided in different sections, and they battle it out. So if you think about it, boxing is the same as any other sport, but the belts complicate when you think who is number one, right? When you talk about who's the best in division, who's number one, that's when the fans argue, right? Because there's 4 champions. So you know, is Xander the best at 154 because you unified? Or is Pandora the champion? Who's the best in that division? Well, it's hard to say. But to me, it just makes it more entertaining. Belts mean more money, stability, and better contracts. That's what I'm saying. Undisputed rarely happen. But even undisputed, does that mean the guys are the best in division? When Canelo became undisputed, people still disputed it. They said Benavidez was the champion because Canelo wouldn't fight him. Super champion, diamond belt, intern champ, Benavidez walking out with AWBC belts. Yes, and the truth is that is confusing for the average fan. I get it. That is actually confusing for the average champion, the average fan. But look, like I'm saying, if you go to every other sport, they have multiple champions. You know, at the end of the day, they have a tournament to finally decide the Super Bowl or the fight March Madness. You know, they have the actual tournament, but they still recognize individual division championships, league championships. You know, they get rings for those things. They get bonuses. So, and to me, boxing is the same thing. WBC, WBO is the same thing as East, West, North, and South. I don't know if you guys agree with me or follow me on that, but when I think about it, that's what I think about. I think you can justify it in that sense. But the overwhelming majority of the industry, we're the fans, so we're on the outside looking in. But the industry, so I dropped the link if you want to hop on and talk about whatever is going on. Zurdo, Benavidez, Nakatani, Inoue. Boxing has regional titles though. Well, so does college basketball. College, it's all divided. College football, college basketball, they have the SEC, they have the television titles. Every sport dilutes the product. In baseball has added playoffs every year. They diluted the product. The NBA is probably the worst. Half of the league makes the playoffs. They even have play-in tournament games, which dilutes the championship. It used to be only 2 teams made the baseball playoffs, but they seen, if we add more playoff games, we can make more money. So, we talk about boxing, but every sport does this. American disgust me, always talking cuck ball. Well, no, I'm just breaking down how boxing. People think that boxing is lesser because they have more belts, but I'm saying the other sports do the same thing. I am Kiersey. Boxing peaked from like 73 to 96 or whatever. I wouldn't doubt that. I was watching Julio Cesar Chavez fights the other night, and man, they had some awesome fights that were just on regular HBO every week. More money, more problems. Yeah. Well, that's the nature of all sports, right? The more games you can have on TV and make people pay with fan attendance, that's just more money. These guys are driven by money, and the belts just equal more money. And us as the fans, the problem is we're asked to pay for that, with pay-per-views. Technique says, yeah, but Frank, the belts do dilute it. You can't compare it to other sports. No, what you compare it because you're saying that other sports are better because they actually have the final tournament, which is Super Bowl March Madness. But I'm saying boxing does the same thing too. We have unifications, we have undisputed belts. So we get it. It's just the belts is the same as other sports when they have tournaments with March Madness and they have different playoff sections. Yeah, boxing was on during the week too back in the days. Yeah, boxing debate arena. Oh, okay. Salute, Mr. BDA. I'm trusting you right off the bat.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Frank. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you, sir?
Doing fantastic. It feels like, I know you in California, you don't give a shit about this, but the weather here, the weather's finally turning nice. Spring, real spring weather.
Good for you. Going to be out and checking out the girls in the short skirts and bikinis.
Oh, man. You're saying I'm going to be wearing short shorts? What?
Oh, you're going to be out there with your binoculars.
Yeah, that's right. That's all night vision.
Yeah, those guys on the beach, they have those hats and binoculars, looking kind of creepish.
Oh, man. But what was I going to say? Yeah, the Nakatani Inoue thing. Which one are you looking forward to more? Inoue versus Nakatani or Benavidez Zurdo?
I just honestly, I would say Zurdo Ramirez and Benavidez because it's just 2 bigger guys and it means more for us here in the States.
Yeah, I get that. I get the Nakatani. I do. I'm looking forward to Nakatani Inoue the most, but I do understand how it might be for other people who haven't really seen those 2 guys. Going, who the fuck's looking forward to that one more? It's like I can see people looking at people like me saying, fucking boxing hipster. Yeah. But it's a good fight. I mean, but the thing is, I don't, Nakatani right now, he's looked good, but his resume right now, it actually looks very Terence Crawfordish circa 2018. Good wins, solid wins, but nothing that makes you go, whoa. At one point, yeah, Nakatani, when he was running through everybody, it's like, whoa, but then little by little, you're like, okay, what else you got? And, it's interesting. A lot of people are saying that this is a great fight, blah, 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 but then most people are picking Inoue. So how good a fight really is it if most of the insiders are picking Inoue to win? I guess it's a great fight because it's the one we've been waiting for the most, but if most people already think Inoue is going to, it strikes me a little bit like Usyk Fury. A lot of people are looking forward to it, but then you would ask most people who wins. Oh, Usyk, easy, because Fury looked like shit against Ngannou.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a casual take because you got to be hardcore to really be interested in this fight, especially interstates, because Inoue gets a lot of hate. And like you said, Nakatani, if you really examine it, I mean, how did he get to that pound for pound place?
Let me ask something, because I'm playing audio. I'm talking to you here at the same time while I'm editing something. Can you hear the audio I'm playing?
No, I have music in my background.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. Yeah, because I'm chopping shit up while I'm talking to you.
From the girls you were watching.
Oh, no. You know, people are gonna start to believe that. I'm gonna have to.
Nah, you're an artist, BD. I figure you like an artist. Like,
isn't that what they said in that Michael Jackson movie that just came out?
You went and seen it. You were first in line. You had a Thriller jacket on.
No. But it's amazing how that guy still has fans. It's been, he died in 2009.
Man,
it's
that long ago, huh?
It's gonna be 20 years in 3 years. 3 years from now, it's gonna be the 20th anniversary of his death. It's been that long, and yet people still fucking they're super fans still till this day.
Well, yeah. I mean, my parents, that's what they listen to, and yeah, I think it's just his cultural significance. He influenced a lot of people to this day, like you said, and I guess he was like speaking out against the music Illuminati and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then the tragedy around his death, and I mean, the guy just had a lot of issues. This was before the E-Files. I'll just say that he was like one of the first.
The E-Files,
right? He was like one of the first people that was spoken about.
Yeah, you're right, man. That whole thing was weird too. His death. He had a doctor that kept him supplied with morphine. Essentially, he was just a zombie at the end there. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird story.
But no, this movie, I think, is number one. People are lining up. They're dancing in the movie theater. It's just it's a cultural phenomenon right now.
There's just real quick. Who is that music star right now who's at that level?
You know what? I don't think there's anybody. That's what they said, is that, even in Hollywood music industry, there's no more stars. The only thing I'm hearing is Justin Bieber. But that was he was 10 years ago.
That was when?
But Justin Bieber was like 10 years ago though, wasn't he?
I don't know, man. I thought it was 2000s even. Maybe further than that.
I mean, I never listened to Bieber, but I know he was a major star. But I don't think he didn't reach the heights of Michael Jackson. I know Michael Jackson was a global superstar with the Japanese. Like anywhere he went was just insanity.
Yeah, he was an international star. International, not just USA. Maybe Japan. No. All over the world.
No, I mean, and people like dress like him, talk like him, with the glove, with the jacket.
As long as they don't do other stuff that he did, apparently, allegedly.
Well, it's allegedly. Right. But nobody did that with Justin Bieber. I don't think anybody's done that since just your nemesis is here. This guy's following you.
Who, Sobers?
No, Sobers. No, Booty Juice. He wants round 2. Hello?
Oh, I thought you were bringing him on.
Oh, no, that's what I'm just saying. He's here. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. Well, whatever you want to do with it, man.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm just... What's up?
I'll keep it short and simple because I know how you people tend to... you're busy with your narratives, so... I just wanted to call in, make some predictions, and that's about it. I just want to get it on record because it's the last time I'll ever call in your bum ass show, along with your bum ass audience like Eric Gomez and all these other bitches that are on the chat. Just wanted to say, with Inoue versus Puto Nakatani, I still got Inoue. I think he has a lot more tools to beat him. I'm always gonna side with Inoue. I think he's must-watch TV. So with Zurdo Ramirez and Benavidez, I think Benavidez might edge it out, but it's not going to be an entertaining fight. I'm rooting for Zurdo Ramirez. Just given that Benavidez is just he's on a different timeline. He's on like one of these psychosomatic, like delusional bullshit rides, like this dipshit on the panel. He says one thing, he does another thing. He talks about this, talks about that, contradicts himself all the time. It's the same old shit, So But if he does win, it'll be a lackluster performance. I don't think it'll be anything to talk about. It's going to go 12 rounds. And then if Boots Ennis ever fights your boyfriend, Canelo Alvarez, I think he decapitates him. Because long story short, insider information, he was getting his ass whooped by Boots when he was leading up to the Crawford fight. Both him and Yoeli Hernandez, the other Cuban cat, he was fucking him up. So he said, no more. I don't want to fight no more. And then, you heard the excuse at the night of the fight. Oh, I got cramps. I got leg cramps, like whatever, It's to be expected. People give him passes even for that. I mean, here you go, another guy that says something, does something else. But anyways, and then finally, once Canelo fights, who's that other bum? His upcoming fight with the other kid, he's gonna end up. Yeah, keep smacking your lips. Man. Yeah, you must be all that dick sucking. Yeah.
Take a breather. Take your time, man. Yeah. We know you're nervous.
Shut the fuck up. Don't tell me what to do, pussy. This isn't your show. Shut your fucking mouth.
I'm giving you advice.
Shut your mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your mouth. Advice, and let me just end with this. If once Canelo fights that one guy, who's that fucking kid coming up?
Boring.
His upcoming fight. I just want to be on record. It's not about entertaining you, bitch. We already know what you're about, pussy. I already exposed you a billion times. You don't want to admit to anything, so you want to make this seem as if you're doing me a favor. You're a psychologist. Yeah, this delusion's in your mind. Like I said, I'm not talking to you, pussy. I just want something on record. Okay?
Yeah, you said that 50 times.
Why don't you understand about that? Why don't you understand about that? I'm not doing it for you.
Yeah, and you're not doing it for anybody. That's why we can tell.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Anyways, and then when Canelo's gonna fight in September, it's gonna be a dog shit performance. The kid he's gonna be fighting against, he's gonna forget that he knows how to. He's gonna drop out all these boxing because there seems to be a trend when watching Canelo Alvarez fight, especially in his last recent fights, where his opponents just forget to box. They just forget. They just don't. I don't know if it's something in the contract. Maybe there could be something to that. Who the fuck knows? But that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So yeah, I won't never come on your bum ass channel. Fuck you.
So entertaining,
but man. It's not conspiracy theories. It's not conspiracy theories. Was it a conspiracy? Was it a conspiracy?
Why are you talking to me? You said you weren't talking to. You said you didn't want to talk to me. Now your contradictions all over the place. What's going on here?
Oh yeah. Because you keep saying stupid shit. I'm trying to finish off my call. Because I talk too much, right? Because I talk too much, right? I say too much truths, too much information, too much everything.
Contradict yourself too much, yes.
I mean, you do it all the time. You make a business out of it, though. You have a business model in place.
By the way, Frank, did you catch how he starts saying now decapitation now? Because I called him out on it.
Decapitation, yeah.
I called him out on it. I caught him on that. Excuse me, I'm talking. Excuse me.
If Boots Ennis ever fights Canelo Alvarez,
the whole decapitation thing. So now he's trying to pass it off as, I say it all the time. I say it all the time because he's afraid now. He's afraid of the legal repercussions. You get that, right? Because I said, hey, man, you're trying to decapitate me. He said, no, that's just an expression. That's just a figure of speech. So now he's using it as he felt. No, I use it all the time. He got scared. I'm not going to sue you. But I mean, I'm just,
decapitate. Nah, watch out, cover. Sorry, that was my fault. I have to. You should have put up a disclaimer. I might use big words, big meaning words. Decapitate. That's why I specifically said that about that. If Jaron Ennis, let's be on record. If Jaron Ennis ever fights Canelo Alvarez, if he ever fights Canelo Alvarez at whatever weight, at whatever time, if it's his last fight in his career, or if it's coming soon, maybe 2 fights ahead from now, what he has scheduled. Apparently, Canelo Alvarez is going to be fighting for 5 years, right? If he fights him, he's going to decapitate them. He's going to butt break him like he did in his camp. That's why he had a short camp. So.
And we got Nakatani, Inoue, we had your old big baby Miller, and this guy wants to talk about Canelo. He wants to talk about Canelo. We had Jerome yesterday, we had Nakatani, Inoue next week, we got Benavidez, we got Munguia, and this guy wants to talk about Canelo. Unbelievable. He really loves Canelo. Like Eric Gomez says there, yeah.
Well, it's obvious.
The Sendis decapitates Munguia too. He's gonna knock him out. So that's and then Ennis is gonna knock out first round the Zayas kid. That's it. That's all I want to say.
That's great. All right, fantastic. That's great.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
We lost half the audience there, Frank.
Yeah, great. Good.
Gotta get him back.
Good.
Gotta get him back.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm not here getting paid
All
doing
right,
this
bye,
shit.
bye,
You're the
man. We
one
got
counting
it.
the
All
you're the
right,
one
that's
counting
great.
the audience. You're the one
All
counting
right.
the public.
Go
Shut the
work
fuck
out,
up.
man.
You know
Go work out.
you got
Lose
butt
some
hurt
weight,
when I
man.
called you out on your show.
Go work
Shut your
out,
fucking
man.
mouth.
Go work out.
Yeah, shut your
I mean,
fuck up. Go
Frank,
suck.
the guy comes in here. He's out of breath.
Yeah,
You notice that he came in? He was like,
yeah.
okay, so
I mean, I can handle it, but I just today's. I don't know. Just today, I'm not really feeling his shtick.
he gets old real quick, huh?
Yeah.
It's not a stick. I already explained my reasonings. You want to once again deflect and deny. You want to deflect and deny
Well, I was
everything I
just
say.
waiting- I was
I
waiting
just
for you
gave
to
you
finish.
without you without a gun to my head. I logically prompted what I was gonna say and why I was gonna say the shit I was gonna say,
sounds like
and
it.
yet once
Sounds like
again, for a fucking case study number 110 over here. Every time it's like, what's wrong with you people?
Use some
You
big
think-
meaning words, like you said. Big meaning words.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell's a big
I just don't
meaning
have
word.
it. I don't have it for today. Some days I do. Today's not one of those days that I feel like putting up with booty loose.
Yeah, Booty Loose, we hope you get the help you need, man. Seriously.
Is that it, booty loose?
Yeah, suck a dick, faggot.
Okay, bye. All right, I'm sorry, BD. I don't have it. I don't have my.
But I'm surprised. Why is he out of breath? I mean, he comes in, he's like, it's almost like he ran to the computer to finally get the call in.
I mean,
before
I
you went
like
off the
the
air.
trolls. I mean, I like the trolls and everything, but some days you just don't. You don't have it in your bag to, to tolerate them.
Well, you did a good job, though. I mean, you kept him in longer than most people would have.
Oh no, I mean he mentioned some boxing stuff, but then he goes off the beaten path.
Yeah, but that's the other thing, though. So this Nakatani versus Inoue fight, by the way, it's going to be starting. They say the main event it's 8 a.m. and I'm thinking, all right, 8 a.m. If usually I get off at 5 a.m. to catch the fights, the undercard fights. But this one, I don't know. I think I'm going to get. And then I started thinking, well, I mean, 8 a.m. That's not bad. You're 3 hours behind. So
Yeah.
if you even want to catch the undercard fights, that's what, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Exactly. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's kind of the thing I'm saying as far as Inoue flying under the radar with this fight, because this is, if you think about it, this is a mega fight, but it's not going to have the traction with the demographic statistics here in the States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, apparently it's sold out over there. I think that's all they care about in Japan.
No, it is. I think it's sold out in the first 10 minutes, 55,000. But then their crowd is more like the they're really quiet, they're really passive, so it's not like they're gonna be throwing chingazos in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the allure. I want to see people throwing shit and fighting.
No, but you brought up a good point earlier too. You said we're 4 months into the year. It's 1/3 of the year, and we still haven't seen a super mega fight, something that transcends the sport.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna get one? And if so, which one could it be? Like, which names out there coupled together could actually get us to that place?
That's I can't think. There's none. I mean, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. That's what they're saying is the biggest fight in boxing. But even that doesn't register like on the level of Trinidad De La Hoya. Just off the top of my head, I don't think there's nothing. I can't see anything unless it's AJ and Fury. But is that the elite matchup? That's just more of a popularity fight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me throw this one at you, and you tell me how much you think it does pay-per-view wise. Because they're doing a lot of join on Twitter. Stevenson, that's Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney.
How many pay-per-views does it do?
Yeah.
300,000, maybe.
And that's a success nowadays, right?
That would be a success, but they're gonna want like 20 million each.
Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so how about Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis?
That might do like 500,000 because Tank Davis, he did reportedly almost 1 million versus Ryan, maybe more around 800,000. But yeah, that's definitely 500,000.
But do you think, okay, so with that one, do you think it could get us to that place where, like, whoa, the news outlets, non-boxing outlets are talking about it and all that?
Yeah, Yeah, it would. I think as in the States, yeah, it would do that. I think you'd get him on ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, those mainstream guys. Now I don't know if it'll be like in the Tonight Show where it's on the what's the highest mainstream you can get right now?
That's a
Would it
good
be
question. I was under the impression that these fucking tonight talk shows, they don't really do that well anymore. Now it's the internet. Like if you go on the Logan Paul shows, like whoa.
Yeah, but those are little kids, Gen Zers, and I don't think they're the buying public.
Right, but that's where it's at right now, though.
Oh, as far as like the streaming clicks and views, yeah. But if you want to do a mega, let's say you want to do a Tank Davis, Stevenson mega fight in Vegas, then you need to start hitting those mainstream outlets like ESPN. It used to be like Fox News, but then the only thing I know is like the Shay Room, Shannon Sharp.
Oh, wait, no, what? No.
The Shay Room. That's literally the name of the show. Shannon Sharp. Yeah, that's one of the bigger podcasts.
Wow. All right.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's just it's a dry land. There's really not anything that brings people together anymore, culturally significant, like a Tonight Show, Jay Leno or something when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. It used to be ESPN, but does anybody even watch ESPN anymore?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question, man. I don't know.
So, but I think 500,000. I think 500,000 would be good for Shakur Twitterson and Tank Davis. That's a good start. I think it would get people excited and talking, because people were excited and talking for Teofimo. I remember that was pretty big in the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because in the beginning and then a little after, there was a little bit of heat off of that fight, but then people just forgot about it because it was a very forgettable fight. It's
yeah. No, there was nothing to chew on. I mean, what could you really talk about for a week after that? And even this guy, he's not doing himself any favors by getting in the ring right away. We're already 5 months from that date, and there's not even news about what he's gonna do.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Yeah, it's that's why somebody was asking that question in the and I'm gonna ask it later on too when the fight gets nearer. But when it comes to Zayas versus Jaron Ennis, would it be better for boxing for Ennis to win? Because not for nothing, but Xander Zayas is like Puerto Rican Devin Haney a little bit. Big guy, good skills, but then he uses his height advantage, his size advantage, and just a whole bunch of clinching.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really good for boxing? And you know what? I think Puerto Ricans would rally behind him. But overall, do we really need more clinchers in the game, Frank? Or?
Nah, I didn't even think about that. I'm just totally against Jaron Ennis because he dug Virgil Ortiz and just how he's moved with his career. But when you put it in that frame, I do understand what you're saying, and you would be right. I wouldn't say you're wrong if you said it's better for Jaron Ennis to win, but with Jaron Ennis and he wins, I'm telling you what's gonna happen. He'll be praised as number whatever 3-4 pound for pound, and then I don't think he takes big fights. I think he plays it safe.
Well, would you say, because people are saying that this is a good fight, but most of the acclaim is towards Zayas for Hoya. He took the fight, man. Whoa, give him props. They're not really giving that many props because it's almost as if he's supposed to win this fight. So, like you said, though, it begs the question: if he does win, why would he move up the pound for pound list? That's what I'd like to ask those, because they're going to move him up the pound for pound list. They're probably going to put him at number 5 or something.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
And I don't want to hear the whole Zayas is a two-time titleist. He's got 2 belts. Like, who? I mean, come on.
Uh-huh.
It's about who you beat for the belts, not just, did you have 2 belts?
Yeah. Well, shit, man. I'm steadfast against Jaron Ennis because, like I said, I just don't like the way he moved in that situation. I think he's been coddled and protected, and they've given him unnecessary praise. And I think he's been a weight bully. I just think he's everything wrong with boxing.
Really?
No, no. I think he's everything wrong with boxing. The unnecessary praise for doing nothing, from turning down fights. He turned down Murtazalia. He turned down Virgil Ortiz. He took tune-ups when he could have fought a legit championship. I told you this before. Zayas is not any better, but he did step up when it was time to get the belts.
That's true.
But then his style. See, man, people try to pigeonhole you, BDA. Like, I think you're trying to pigeonhole me. No, but
A little bit.
But then, yeah, man, Zayas. But at the same time, yeah, I'm debating about Zayas and Virgil Ortiz, and they're trying to tell me Zayas is taking all challengers. Bro, he was given a layup with that Perez guy. That's matchmaking. That's your promotional company doing you a favor. This is why we talk boxing, because you got to tell people, look, Zayas was gifted that belt. There's no other way around it.
He was a bit opportunistic,
and his style is running. I said it before. I'm just saying I just favor him for drawing Ennis, but if I have to break down Zayas, he's a runner. He's a clincher, like you said.
Yeah, and that's a style that I don't like seeing at all, man. And that's not to say that he doesn't have skills, but what I'm saying is, and by the way, I rewatched that Perez fight, and he didn't do as much clinching as I recall, but it was too much for my liking still. So
Well, Perez, if you notice, he was thumping Zayas in the first 3 to 4 rounds, and then he just quit. They said that maybe he had an injury, but if you rewatch the first 3 rounds, he was tagging Zayas, he was catching Zayas, and then he just like quit. I don't know how to explain it. It was just weird.
Yeah, I think the speed just got to him. And I think if we had to rate it from 1 to 10, how would you rate Zayas' power?
Man, I give him about a 5. I think he has the type of what is a good example, man? I want to say Fraud Mayweather. What they said about Floyd was he had enough power for you to respect him, that you wouldn't just attack him. So I think Zayas has enough like, okay, you can't just rush me because I can catch you.
Well, because like you said, he sort of made Perez quit a little bit there, and I have to wonder if it's because, well, the speed got to, what do they always say? That the punch you don't see coming is the one that gets to you.
Yeah.
And I think that makes some people stop throwing punches when the other guy is just that much faster, and they go, "Oh, I got to watch myself here because
Perez was just too slow-footed."
That is true. Yeah,
slow feet, and his punches you could see coming from a mile away. He's just one of those Mexicans that throw looping punches. Not sharp. They're just looping punches. But Xander, man, I think he's good. He's good. I don't want to get it twisted, but I can't get away from telling you that, there's a guy that you probably know, I don't know if you know him. He's been to my channel before, HLD. Like, if he was here and I told him that, he'd have like a massive overdose. Like, man, Xander be running, bro. Like, you can't get around. He clinches, he runs. Nah, he's a masterful boxer. I'm like, no, I know when I'm watching when I see him. But he's good. Yeah. How do I explain it? Like, he's good for what we have now in this era of boxing. And now let me just finish this point. I was watching Edwin Rosario versus Julio Cesar Chavez. Edwin Rosario is a boxer, but he was a boxer, but he was still thumping with Julio Cesar Chavez. Xander don't do that. He's a boxer. He's not trying to hurt you.
Can I say that early on, it did look like he was punching with a little bit more panache, but that's because I think the opposition, right? Because the last two guys, I mean, I don't know if you've rewatched the Barao fight, but I don't think he put a dent in that guy at all. Now, maybe that's because Barao is just that much tougher. I mean, look at what he did to Tszyu. But it just seemed like Zayas just didn't have anything behind those shots. And also, I would invite people to do that. Watch just go to a body punching bag video. Go watch Zayas hitting the bag, and then go watch Ennis hitting the bag, and you will see that Ennis really turns on those punches. He really gets some torque behind those shots. Whereas Zayas, it's almost like he's just touching you because he just wants to score that point and get out of the way. I have seen him try to put on a little bit more pop in those shots, but for the most part, it's just, yeah, he's not really trying to dig in. He's got a good left hook to the body, though, but I don't know. I do think he's going to get Ennis' attention, though. I will say that. But how long can he keep that up for? Because Ennis just keeps on coming. Contrary to what you heard earlier from the mentally ill guy, what they said, apparently what they said about Ennis is that he does all of that. He eats punches in sparring, and he just overwhelms you because he keeps on coming. He doesn't mind taking those shots. But how long can that last for? Because that eventually gets to a fighter. It starts wearing them down.
How long can Zayas keep that up against Jaron Ennis?
Yeah, because he can start off fast and he can have a snap on his punches, but if Ennis just keeps eating them and keeps digging to the body, eventually, yeah. But like the thing I was saying was, how long career-wise can Ennis keep that up? Just eating flush shot after flush shot.
He will not last long. His head's really big, man. He has if you look at his head, it is a massive block, and it just looks like it has a target on it. I'm being a little exaggerating, but I'm serious. I don't know, man. That's what I've seen on social media here and there, and I've heard certain boxing people that claim to know him, and that's what they said. They said, "Look, man, there's a reason." It was Rick Glazier who said that. Remember Rick Glazier?
Yeah, he's not on. People forgot about him a little bit because he's not on Twitter anymore.
He got hacked or something, but he claimed to be an industry insider, right? And he was going on certain podcasts and saying, look, the way he talks, he has this like New York kind of braggadocious way. Yeah, and he's like, well, what I've heard in the gyms is that the reason they've been so slow with Jaron Ennis is because he's got a chin issue, and you're gonna see it. He was emphatically 100% Virgil Ortiz was gonna knock him out because the word around the water cooler was there's something wrong with Jaron Ennis.
What do you think?
I believe it. I mean, look, people talk in gyms all the time. They know people talk, right? Isn't that what they say? People talk.
Is that a thing? Yeah. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, it sounds like something people would say. Yeah.
Yeah, and that they pick up on certain weaknesses, but that because Jaron Ennis's family has like all his brothers box, like his whole family had been boxing, and I think his brothers couldn't make it because they had weak chins. And that's the rumor on him is that he has chinks in the armor, and it might be his chin. Yeah, that's why he has that beard. He always has that big ass beard.
Yeah, I mean, when you're saying he has if people say that he has a weak chin, I mean, a weak chin means people who can't really crack would have you already reeling and all that. And so far, I mean, I know that Sosa guy early on had him reeling. And I know Lipinets, who doesn't really crack that hard, stunned him for about just a second there before Ennis sort of woke himself back up. But I mean, he's being caught by Stanioni, and Stanioni is a bit of a slapper. A Venetian can crack a little bit though, and Ennis took. So I don't know, maybe it's exaggerated, those claims about how his chin is that bad or that he's chinny. But I do believe what Hernandez's trainer said, that he said, look, he got the best of us eventually, but he was eating a lot of shots flush. And all we heard from Ennis's camp, from his side of the ring, there was, yeah, good job, good defense, baby, good defense. Like, good defense. He's getting hit. So that's what leads me to believe whether this guy is just, I'm not saying he's as bad as Jared Hurd was. No, what was his name? Yeah, Jared Hurd. But Jared Hurd was the same thing. He was like the American Margarito. He would just eat punches, except he was bigger, way bigger. And he would rely on that size to just eat shots. And, guys who couldn't hit that hard, like Austin Trout and, Tony Harrison. Yeah, Tony Harrison doesn't really hit that hard either. They would just, snap his head back and forth. Who else was delivering a lot of shots? Who was it? Anyway, I'm forgetting the names at the time, but there were 3 or 4 fights in a row. People were just banging his head side to side. And then eventually he caught up to him. And one day, from one fight to the next, all of a sudden, he just looked slow as molasses, and it's just those punches caught up to him. So I'm wondering if it's the same thing as Ennis, because you know what they say, you train how you fight. And the way he fights eats a lot of shots. And if he's eating a lot of shots in the fights, and what Hernandez's trainer says is that this guy's eating a lot of shots too in the gym, and they're just telling him, yeah, good job, baby, good job. I don't know, that's not good.
Well, I like that style. I mean, that's an exciting style, and with Jaron Ennis, you can see it. That's his mentality, is to get you out of there. But like you said, you can only eat so many shots, and we're talking about a higher weight class and a higher level.
Absolutely.
I mean, we haven't seen Zayas' chin get tested, have we? I don't think we've ever seen his chin get tested.
You talk about Ennis.
No, Xander Zayas.
Oh, Zayas. Well, he fought some fucking bald guy. I gotta check the name, but he stunned him with the right hand.
He stunned Xander Zayas?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember that. Maybe it was earlier in his career.
Yeah. It was more in the, I want to say 3-4 years ago. I think I can check it here. Hold on. But yeah. That's let me. I'm gonna look up the name, but while I look it up, it's your show, man. You take over.
Well, it's not my show. It's everybody's show. It's the chat show. It's your show. You guys.
You know
tell
what?
me
That's the way
to
it's
do.
supposed to be, democratic. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well, I mean, okay, you want my expert analysis? No, I look, man. The name when you were talking to me, that what I'm thinking is, I know I talk shit about boxers and this and that, but it's the name of the game is still boxing, and I think Zayas is the better boxer in this situation. I think Jaron Ennis, I'm telling you, the guy has flaws. I really believe when Rick Glazer was sounding convincing when he was saying it. It sounded like he really did have somebody that was telling him about this Jaron. And it could be my dislike of the guy, because I'm not going to hide it, right? So it could be that I just want to see him lose. I don't know. I just do. But it's still the name of the game, the boxing. And Xander Zayas right now, to the eye test, is the better boxer. And if you're telling me you think Jaron Ennis, that's what they're saying about his sparring with Yelena Hernandez, who's a big guy and he wants to just go in there and get you out of there. We've seen it before. That's a good mentality, but it's still you don't know what you're in until you're in against a guy that can actually hit you and is not afraid to hit you. Who's really took it to Jaron Ennis?
Stanionis, but he couldn't keep up with him.
Did he though? Because he had Stanionis on the back foot.
Well, in the end, yeah, because it was always going to be a bad style matchup for Stanionis. He doesn't hit as hard as Ennis. On top of that, he relies on the high guard. So if you're fighting a guy with quicker hands than you, and who also hits harder than you, eventually he's going to wear you down through. He's going to wear that guard down, and that's what he did to Stanionis. But I do remember Stanionis pressing him early on for the first 3-4 rounds, and then by the fifth, it all started to go down by the wayside. But I mean, you are correct that Zayas does appear to be the better boxer in terms of, because people like to say that, Frank. People get into the whole. They look at a guy who can crack, and especially when he's fast, like Ennis, and they go, "Oh, if he wants to, he can box. He can box off the back foot." No, he can't. This whole is that it was the same thing with Tank Davis a while back. It's like, well, he can box, but if he really wants to, we've never seen him go at 100%. Now that's pugilistic erotica. It's people make up these erotic scenarios in their minds, these pugilistic scenarios that get them excited, and therefore that's why it's called pugilistic erotica. But then you look at Tank Davis, and when he fought Lamont Roach, he never stepped it up because he can't.
I was just about to say that.
And I suspect the same thing with Ennis when they say, "Oh, he can box. If he wants to, he can make it boring." I don't think he can. I don't think he has the skills to do what Zayas does.
But look, you could be right, and Zayas just gets him out of there. He's just gonna walk Zayas down because Zayas has no power and just get him out of there. But right now, I don't see that happening. Just look, man. Jaron Ennis, he's just largely unproven. It's hard to describe, but I can't think of another fighter that is this hyped and that much unproven.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, the Perez and the Barao wins, they were good wins, but that's the other thing. Who has he fought that cracks hard?
Ennis or Zayas?
Zayas.
Nobody. That's what I'm saying. They're two largely unproven guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say Ennis is even more unproven because he's got this will be his 36th fight, and I've never seen him fight an uphill battle. Anybody that he was going to have to actually take it to.
Yeah, that's one. Like you said, it is a weird fight. That's why I said that when people talk about, "Oh, Ennis is a more experienced guy," yeah, just by virtue of the numbers of the number of fights he has on his dossier. But when it comes to actual quality fights, they're not that far off. They both have limited. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not calling them prospects, but I know. I think Virgil Ortiz facing Israel Madrimov was a better barometer for as far as those guys stacked against each other. Sebastian Fundora, he fought Tim Tszyu, Brian Mendoza, and now Keith Thurman. Is that a better better barometer as far as where they're all stacked, as far as comparing the level that they're at with the four guys. And Kelly beat Murtazaliev. Isn't that the best win? That's a better win than all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that Murtazaliev was overrated, who had he beaten, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it is. I mean, he beat Tim Tszyu, who was rated at one point was in the top 5. Zayas, the guys he beat, I don't think they were ever anywhere near the top 5.
Well,
And
no,
Ennis
that's the example. I'm sorry to cut you off. That's the example I'm trying to make is that you could arguably say Virgil Ortiz and Sebastian Fundora and Josh Kelly are more proven than Zayas and Ennis are right now.
Think
As
you're
far as the
correct,
division, that's what I'm
You're
trying to
correct.
say. And I don't think you'll hear that anywhere else. Because they're gonna hype. No, the real talk. Well, as we get close, you're gonna hear these guys. They're elite. These guys are elite. Like, no, these guys, they haven't proven anything.
I mean, Ennis is must-see TV, and what's his name? Zayas is one of the top guys in the 154-pound division. Top 10, I should say. He's one of the top 10 guys. I'm not saying he's in the top 5, but so that's why it's a good fight, man. I think, maybe, do you think it's maybe because we're so, devoid of any big fights or whatever, that this type of thing gets us excited? Like, whoa, a 23-year-old guy taking on a big challenge.
Yeah, it's also our bias. Like this Nakatani Junto is a mega fight. We're talking 2 pound for pound guys. But just because we're over here in the States, if you listen around, I know you listen to the YTDC, you're not going to really hear that much about it. So this Ennis Zayas fight, we're just not used to it.
Mhm.
When have we seen, like, we should have got the El Divino versus Fulton, or who's he? He's in the division with El Vaquero and those fights. Like, those would be massive fights, but we're never gonna get it. So this is an old school what's a Danny Garcia Lucas Matisse matchup, right?
Mhm.
Like, it's on that level, but we're so thirsty, we're so devoid of it. This is our mega fight. Like, oh my god, 2 young guys undefeated. Oh, this is a mega fight. And it's like, nah, man, this is regular.
Yeah, it's not good, man. The ones you put it that way, that we're blowing our wad because
I'll give you an example, BDA. Sergio Martinez versus Paul Williams. That was regular shit. That was better than this. I think that was even at that weight class at the time, right? Paul, was it 160 or 154?
the first one 154, the second 160.
And no, those guys were proven. They had already beat proven guys. I can't tell you if it was for a belt or whatever, but that is a way bigger significant matchup than what Zayas and Ennis is. But because the state of boxing, we're gonna perceive it as being a mega fight.
Yeah, it's not it's a good fight, but sometimes some people are making it to be like, it's like that this is the one we wanted for. No, man, the one that we wanted, the one that people seem to wanted to have one more or had wanted more, right? Excuse me, was the Ortiz versus Ennis fight. Even though that too wouldn't have been for the number 1 spot, because let's remember, if you really want to find out who the best guy is in terms of numbers at 154, it's got to be Ortiz versus Fundora. Now, if Ennis beats Zayas, and they're probably going to put him number 3 based off of that, then yeah, at some point you can make, or I think they're going to even, how far up do you think they're going to push him out the ladder 154 if he beats Zayas? You think they're going to put him number 2 or number 3?
He'll have to be number 2 at least.
Yeah.
But he'll go pound for pound. I'm pretty sure you're saying if Jaron Ennis wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll go pound for pound. They'll put him number 10 or something.
And speaking of top 10, the ESPN has him top 10.
They already have Jaron Ennis top 10?
Yeah, yes.
Wow, that's mind blowing. How? That's all. How?
I guess off of the Stanionis win.
That was how long ago? Like, was that last year?
That was last year in March or April, I want to say, yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it's a diluted product.
I'm telling you, man, it's at least you can tell, they tell you on ESPN who voted for him. Excuse me, what am I saying? Yeah, okay. I said top 10, and I was assuming number 10. Guess where they have him? They have number 8.
Oh my goodness, that's insane.
And you can see who voted for him there. So you get Teddy Atlas. Okay, Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas has him number 8. He's one of the people that voted him 8. Joe Tessitore has him at 9. Eric Raskin, who's a writer, former Ring Magazine. I think does he still write for Ring Magazine? Anyway, he was a long time Ring Magazine. He doesn't have Ennis in the top 10, so you can tell who's who in terms of boxing knowledge. So yeah, you can go check it out, Frank, and the audience as well. Go to ESPN's top 10 pound for pound list, and if you scroll down, they let you know who voted for whom.
Wow. So number based on what, the eye test? Can you hold it down for like a minute? BBA?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, like Frank is saying, it's the eye test, and let's face the facts, and let's not forget, rather, that Ennis has that dog. He likes to go get it. He's not a back foot bitch, so I think they're giving him extra points for that. It's like, oh, wait a minute, you got fast hands and you're not a back foot bitch? There you go. Okay, top 10 pound for pound. There you go. We got you. You ain't got to worry about nothing, champ. You ain't got to worry about a thing. So they got a number 8 on ESPN. Ring Magazine, to their credit, they don't have him in the top 10. But like Frank is saying, if he beats Zayas and if he stops Zayas, top 5 pound for pound. Minimum. Now, top 2, 154 pounds? Yeah, definitely. In fact, let me just check out where Zayas is according to Ring Magazine. And by the way, the Ring Magazine's rankings, I always used to push him, but now that, it was bad enough when the Loyo had taken over. But now that it's the Sheik, and if you go to Twitter, oh man, that the official Ring Magazine Twitter account, they post gossip now. That's the level they're at now. They post gossip like, Shakur Stevenson said this. What you think about that? And it's like, what? And then they put comic book shit. Like they got a new comic book out. And I'm I don't know. It's like Frank was saying. It's maybe that's because remember, the demographic that these people always go for. And when I say these people, I'm talking about media companies and media properties and all that. They want the 18, maybe even younger, 15 to 30 crowd. That's the demographic that they often go for. So if they got to throw in some trap music, some drill music, a little drive-by here and there to keep the people happy and try to really attract them, that's what they're going to do. 154-pound rankings we've got, according to Ring Magazine, they got Zayas number 3. Yeah, okay, so there you go. So if Ennis beats him and if he beats him up, minimum number 3 then for Ennis. Minimum number 3 in the 154-pound rankings over at Ring Magazine. Now, if I check the ESPN rankings, the divisional rankings over at ESPN say heavyweight, cruiserweight, middleweight. Okay, so they got Ortiz number 1. That's not going to last because the division moves fast. Boxing moves fast. He's going to be out of commission probably for about a good 6 months. So if Zayas and Ennis are going to steal his thunder, whoever comes out on top. Look at this. ESPN. Oh, man, when Frank comes back, I'm going to... ESPN divisional rankings, 154 pounds. They got Ennis number 3 ahead of Xander Zayas. He just got there. He beat Lima. He's already number 3. How does that work?
Thank you, BDA. Sorry about that.
That's
I use the latrine, as you say.
Did you hear what I just said, by the way?
That he's number 3?
According to ESPN, they got Ennis number 3 at 154 pounds.
Wow.
Number 3. Because I guess he was so dominant at welterweight and so proven that just by moving up, they already gave him that. I mean, see, ESPN, you can already smell the play, right, Frank? They're already sending him off to the number 1 spot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that, but I didn't think it was possible.
This is insane, man.
Well, I mean, you already know what's going to happen. He's American. And they're going to go for American bias.
I mean, they say there's no such thing, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, come on. Can anybody really dispute it at this point?
Dispute what?
That there's a little bit of a bias there. A little bit.
For American fighters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I asked the other day, we were talking on your show, and we were talking about the Ring Magazine, and I felt it's like the establishment now. So these rankings, they're part of the establishment. When I was trying, I don't know if you understood what I was saying. Not that you're slow, BDA, but
well, a little bit. Up. Nobody ever denied it. But.
No. Thank you for being a good punching bag. No, but I thought these rankings were to like bring truth to the sport. like, okay, the promoters are going to promote their fighters, but these rankings, we're here, the publications are to tell you who the true number ones are.
Mhm.
Like what did he call it? The spirit of the rankings, the idea about why they're there.
Mhm. Their
But
purpose,
now,
yeah.
but now it seems like that the Ring, ESPN, they're part of the machine now. That the promoter gets with them and, hey man, can you put my guy up? We need to promote this fight. Look, number pound for pound, or he's on the honorable mention. So it's basically the pound for pound rankings are a promotional tool now.
I mean, how can you know? I mean, how can you argue otherwise when you get Ennis number 3 at 154 pounds? Makes no sense.
Well, that confirms that what you're saying, that there's an American bias, that they want to bring Americans to the forefront as much as they can without it looking too obvious.
Yeah, I they should have a discussion about this and maybe try to justify it, because they just vote and boom, that's it. Well, we don't got to say nothing else. Just take our word for it. ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it. I mean, Zayas and Ennis fighting, the winner could arguably be number one. I mean, I don't think that's absurd. I don't think that's absurd. I understand it, but then maybe you're saying, well, Vendora gets screwed over.
Yeah, well, I mean, the weird thing about this ESPN top 10 pound for pound is that they still got Canelo in there, whereas Ring Magazine, they dropped him. So I don't know, they're a little bit all over the place with this list.
Yeah, I never paid attention to the ESPN one. I just always kind of followed the Ring Magazine.
Mhm.
ESPN just always kind of seemed, I don't know, second rate.
Second rate. Well, don't forget, they also got the transnational rankings. And people get
What?
put off a little bit by the trans part, but yeah.
Transnational? What does that even mean?
I guess it's through, it transcends nations, maybe that's what they're saying. Let me go check it out.
Jeez.
Transnational boxing rankings, but I don't know if they have a pound for pound one. I think they just they formed their own rankings per division, but let's see. Oh no, yeah, they do have a pound for pound list. Everyone always tells me, there was one guy who called in because I was telling him that I looked for cross-reference the Ring Magazine and ESPN, and he said, "Oh, you got to do it with the transnational ones." I said, "Okay, I'll look into it." And yeah, the transnational. And here's the list, the transnational one: Inoue number 1, Usyk number 2, Bam number 3, Shakur Stevenson number 4, Bivol 5, Nakatani 6, Canelo still there at number 7. That's about the highest number you'll find in any list, I suppose. Benavidez 8, Collazo 9, and Devin Haney number 10. I guess people are still bamboozled by that Brian Norman win.
Devin Haney on a pound for pound list is despicable.
Oh man.
But look, when I think of ESPN rankings, I think, and I've always thought this. I was like, do these people know boxing like you and I know boxing? Well, more like you. I'm not gonna throw myself in there.
Don't sell yourself short there, Frank.
No, I mean, because people, we all got our biases, right? But when I think of the rankings, I'm like, I really think they're just going by popularity.
Well, yeah, that was your point earlier, right? That it's all now just to feed the machine.
Yeah, it's a promotional tool. So if you're a promoter and you want to promote your guy, you're starting to get him up the rankings. Maybe you take the guy, a writer that votes to a steak dinner, and try to sway him. The guy, get him up the rankings, because it does help. I think it does help to say when you're rated in the Ring Magazine top 10, or you're rated in these in these polls. I think it does help the average fan understand the boxing game.
Mm-hmm. You think these writers are so hard up that just some food is gonna get them?
Well, I mean, how much can they really make in boxing? It's like, I think they have "will work for food" signs out.
Yeah, it's not easy being a writer, especially boxing writer. You're right. I mean, nowadays, I got to assume, because when I used to get my information from the writers, and then I would read on the internet when Max Boxing started and Doghouse Boxing and all, and Boxing Talk. People look down upon it a little bit. It's like, it's like The Zone. is like an app, right? Like they look down on apps for a while. Like who's gonna watch boxing on an app? It was the same thing. Who's gonna read off the internet? Anybody can just write anything. You need professional writers. They gotta be vetted by they gotta go through a vetting process. And now it's not even nobody reads anymore. Now it's all, hey, let me get my information from YouTubers.
True.
Or Twitter at the minimum.
No,
so it's hard. It's hard being a writer.
Well, I mean, especially in the sport of boxing, like how many opportunities are there really? This is not the days of newspaper where there was hundreds of jobs. You got maybe 5 writers, like 5 people that you know off the top of your head. Mike Cappinger, Dan Raphael, give me a Dougie Fisher.
Is what's his name? Is Benson? Was he a writer or was he just a guy who dropped inside the stuff?
I've seen him on here, Benson. I think he was legit. Lance Pugmire from Boxing Scene. I mean, I'm followed to all these guys like Boxing Scene, Lance Pugmire. Dan Canobio's a new one. I don't remember him from the ring days. I'm like you. I used to, I mean, my dad asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I said a Ring magazine subscription as a kid. So yeah, I'm deeply entrenched. I used to follow Fight News. Did you ever follow Fight News on the internet?
For a while, they were the big. I don't know if they're still the biggest.
Exactly. See, I'm in this game, BDA. You said it before. You knew I was, but I don't say it.
Well, they call you Mr. Humble for a reason.
Frank Bay Coping. Wow. No, it was like Fight News. There was there was another publication. This guy Greg Leon.
That was Boxing Talk.
But yeah, okay. See, that's why I followed you, BD. I know you've been following some of these because you mentioned Max Boxing with Steve Kim. I follow that, Dougie Fisher, and now he's with Ring Magazine. So yeah, legit boxing nerd.
Mm-hmm. Well, just a nerd all around.
Yeah, but chicks dig nerds, believe it or not.
I don't know about that.
Well, they want to play it safe. You're the fallback. Go ahead.
Speaking of playing it safe, Greg Leon, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think him and the Fight Hype guy used to be friends, and then the Fight Hype guy started his own website called Fight Hype. And apparently, the Fight Hype guy, don't quote me on this, but I think he used to say that Greg Leon used to walk around Las Vegas with a girl, and he would put a leash on her. That's what I remember hearing. Somebody told me that. I said, what? But no, take it with a grain of salt.
Well, what? So it was just Fight News, Fight Boxing Talk with that Greg Leon guy and Max Boxing. I think those were the top guys. Mm-hmm. And then Dan Raphael was like a real publication. Dougie Fisher was a Ring magazine. But now like Dan Canobio's a new guy. Now you got Chris Algieri and Boxing Scene.
But they don't write though.
Yeah, they're just pugs that commentate.
Mm-hmm.
So the game has really changed, and now like these new outlets, these new ones, like Mill City, he does like all these interviews. Ellie Sekbach, like, I mean, I suck it from the back. Everybody hates that guy. But then I started. Go ahead.
Can I ask you? Did you used to watch his early videos like circa 2010, 2011?
Yeah, because I was an idiot. I didn't know better. I'm like, oh, he must be legit because he's got access. Mm-hmm. Like that's how people really think, right?
Most people, yeah, a lot of people, yeah.
Because you're thinking, okay, Ring Magazine. People always want. How do I say this? Like when anything ever becomes popular, then it becomes mainstream, and then it becomes untrusted.
Yeah. That's good. That's true. Yeah.
So Ellie Sackbag, you're like, oh, he must be the new legit guy because he's getting access, so he must be keeping it real. Mm-hmm. I'ma fuck with him.
Well, for a while there, because my experience with Ellie Sackbag was, because this happened, you can tell perfect timing. Really, it fell on perfect timing for him. That was when Garcia had Nonito Donaire, who was rated as high as top 3 pound for pound, I think, in 2011. So circa 2010, 2011, Garcia had Nonito Donaire. He had Brandon Rios, who was red hot at lightweight, and a comebacking Margarito, who was about to fight Manny Pacquiao. So fucking Eli Segbach was right there in the middle, smack dab in the middle of all that. So he had access to Margarito, and Margarito, Garcia, and Rios together. They were fucking great together. They were always cracking jokes. They were saying a bunch of BS, and it was fun. It was fun. I still remember there was one episode where it was after Rios won the title of Venezuelan guy. I forget his name. Maybe you remember it, but he beat the guy for a strap in the lightweight division, and then the next night they had a party or something at Garcia's house. And it was filled to the brim with people. I don't know how many of them had papers, and they're all, they're having a beer drinking contest. And this one guy just grabs, there's one guy who's, I think, Rios' best friend or something, and they're telling him, chug, 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 chug. So he chokes a beer. And then they go, hey, another one, and one for Brandon. Yeah, one for Brandon. And the guy goes like, no, I can't, because he's already chugged up like 4 or 5. And then Rodriguez said, no, yeah, one for Brandon. And then all of a sudden, this little short fat guy comes in with a mustache. He grabs 2 beers, puts him by the sides of his mouth, and just starts chugging 2 beers at the same time. I said, see, it was fucking entertaining. But then what happened, like you said, then people started saying that, seeing that Eli Segbach, he has got a little bit of an attitude. If you say something bad about him, he hates you forever, unless you switch it back up and tell him you love him. Then he'll love you. But people started realizing, well, he's not a real reporter. He's just a guy with a camera who's on the ground, but he's got his biases. So that was a little bit of the downfall of Eli Segbach there.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of following the trend, what we see as far as trusted sources, who we follow in boxing, how it went from mainstream. So it goes from newspapers to magazines to now the internet to trusted reporters again. And now we don't trust the reporters again, and we follow the internet again. It's like cyclical. Am I making sense? I had a beer or two.
Yeah, is that what you left earlier? No, it makes sense.
I had to use the latrine.
Right. Well, that's what you say. But no, it makes sense what you're saying, because it is true. You go from, sometimes people go from trust, and it's not even because people turn on them because they want to. It's because the person tends to end up showing their true colors. That's what I'm trying to say too about a guy like Eli Segbach is people start off, most people want to think the best of somebody else. They want to think, oh, this guy's cool, he's friends with this guy or that guy.
Yeah.
He's got a show, so he must be good. But then little by little, the biases start showing up, the attitude. Maybe the person can't handle criticism, and they start going at it with their own audience. Don't talk shit about me, and it just, before you know it, boom. But, I mean, look at Joe Rogan.
Excellent example.
He hasn't fell off that bad yet, but he started being very open about, hey, the COVID. I don't think that's as bad as they say, and hey, don't what they, the solution that they're trying to come up with a COVID, don't take it. You don't need it. And a lot of people turned on him, and then he started talking politics. And if there's one way to really divide your audience, Frank, it's getting into politics and maybe a little bit of religion. Those are the things that are always going to divide your audience. And
I try to avoid it here, but you're bringing it up.
No. But you get what I'm saying is when people start taking sides when it comes to politics or religion and all that.
They don't want to. People don't want to be preached to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they want to be told how to vote, how to think, how to spend their dollar. But yeah, that's a great example of what I was saying. You mentioned Joe Rogan. People are gonna turn on you because they start thinking you're siding with one side, and your whole program has basically been an infomercial.
You know what, man? There's certain certain YouTubers that are doing that apparently, both left and right wing. They've been taking money.
A great example. I'm gonna say this. You were talking about that Sean Zittle guy, right? Is he with Fight Hype?
I don't think so. I think he used to be.
Well, yeah, he was. I mean, I seen him. I thought he was trusted. Okay, he has access, and then he started getting kind of political. And then some of these guys were siding with the PBC. They're spreading a lot of PBC narratives, and now they're independent. So now they got to be more broad. So now he's coming back in the mainstream against the Ali Act, Reform Act, and he's taking a lot of shit on. He's been taking a lot of shit online because they're saying, well, when you were reporting about boxing, why didn't you take umbrage with the PBC when they were trying to take over boxing? But now all of a sudden you're against the Ali Act or the new reform. So
that redacted,
yeah, he's one of those guys. He wanted to come across as a journalist. Now I think he's trying to come across as like a YouTuber.
Well, it's the best way to do it. I mean, the guy who really has the that whole thing down to a T and has the best deal and the best of both worlds is Errol Houani. At least when it came to MMA, because he had the inside scoop with interviews and all that, but he was also independent to a certain degree, right? And then when the UFC cut him off, he still managed to thrive because he didn't depend on access to the UFC, and apparently Dana White can't stop some of these dudes from doing interviews with the guy, so he ended up surviving, and now he's doing he's the MC for press conferences. He's also transitioned over to boxing as well. That's what a lot of these YouTubers and Twitter people want to be, Frank. They want to be right there. They want to be
the influencers.
Yeah, they want to be at the press conference. They want to be seen. And I'm thinking, at this point, with everything we've seen in social media, do you really want to take that risk? Do you really want to be front and center? Do you really want to? Because now everything's going to be under a microscope. Everything you say, everything you do. And some of these people, they're egomaniacs. So they make it big in one area of entertainment. And then they think, well, let me opine on science and let me opine on politics and religion. And next thing you know, people are making videos about them, about how far they fell or how hard they fell from the top of the mountain.
Man, you have a pulse on these things, dude. You do, because I agree 100%, because it's alluring, right? Like I've seen some of these guys on Twitter. There's like this kid named Max Calendro or something like that. And he's getting a lot of hype on it. He's like being an influencer for Pro Box. I'm like, but you said something. It's like, yeah, okay, you get the access, now you're front and center, but now where you were a voice, now you're a puppet, and it's a fine line. And but if you choose to get the fame and you want that authority, like, oh, I'm with Pro Box, I'm with the Zone, because like you said, these guys are angling for the Zone jobs, these Pro Box jobs. But you're gonna lose your core audience as an independent voice.
Maybe not in the beginning, right? Maybe in the beginning you actually get a boost because, whoa, look at this guy, he's made it big time. But then eventually, I mean, how can you not expect them to start? Listen, let's say the Zone comes over to you and they go, hey, Frank, we're gonna start featuring you. We're gonna give you 2 minutes on the Zone, on the telecast. It's like the Frank Bate minute or something. But then all of a sudden, whatever you say, because you keep doing your show too on top of that. But then you're on your show here and you start talking about certain biases, right? How the boxing media is biased towards this group or against that group or whatever. All of a sudden you get a call from the Zone. Hey man, you got to reread your contract there. What you say on your show reflects on us too. So remember, you can't say this, that, or the other. That's how they get you. That's how they limit your creativity and your freedom of speech.
I had a bone to pick with you, but I wasn't going to do it on your show, BDA. I was like, BDA's going soft, man. He went soft on show jizz.
What do you mean?
On one of your morning lives, I caught it while brushing my teeth, and you were giving show jizz's props. I was like, man, BDA going soft on me.
Well, first of all, when you see a face like Showbiz's, you don't get hard, if you know what I mean. You want to keep it up. Otherwise, there's something wrong with you. No, but I gave him his props because, sticking to that subject of what I was talking about, how people want to make it to the big time, he's managed to do it without sullying his reputation. Now, every once in a while, you're never going to get everybody to like you. I think you're the one that said it, that you can get people to like you most of the time, but you can't get everyone to like you all the time, or something along the lines. And it's true. It's Showbiz. You're still going to have some people calling him house N-word. That's what some people call him on Twitter. Yeah, because he dared to stand up for Ryan Garcia and blah blah blah. But Showbiz, if anybody out there really wants to be where Showbiz is, follow some of the stuff he does, because he's managed to ride the fence, not be too controversial, but at the same time managed to get a big audience. He might not be your cup of tea. He's not my cup of tea either, but there's something about him that people want to watch him. A lot of people. Now, they might be youngins, they might not necessarily be boxing hardcores, but I've seen some of his stuff, particularly when he was debunking Glovegate back in 2020, and you can tell he knows what he's talking about. He does his research. He puts forth a good quality product. He doesn't just turn on I think I've told you this before, Frank. I remember there was one YouTuber once. This was LDBC guy, but I forget who he was. This was 10 years ago. Back when I didn't even know what the YTBC was. But anyway, Bucci shows me this guy, and the guy goes, he's in his kitchen with a shitty ass mic, and he goes, "I don't do no prep. I don't do no prep." And he was sort of like boasting that he doesn't prepare anything for the show. He just turns the camera, the stream on, and yeah, let's get to work. And then I started listening to a little bit of the show, and I go, yeah, I can tell you don't do no prep. The fucking show sucks. But it was entertaining for some people because it was all about how they were victims and blah blah blah. So that's what that's what they really tuned in for. But showbiz, you can tell he does that. So anyway, long story short, I'm prevaricating here on you. I'm taking over. I don't like that.
No, you do what you do.
To make a long story short, yeah, I stood up for showbiz because yeah, you can, where some of these dudes want to be, he's there. He's on the zone. He's mainstream. He's doing interviews with boxers, but at the same time, he's managed to keep a certain sense of independence. Because and he can do that because he was never controversial to begin with. So that was my stance.
You think he was? No, I know. I'm just kind of giving you the business. I didn't like it, but no. No, you're right. But I guess I mentioned showbiz because I think eventually, when you make it to that, like you want to be that influencer, you want to be that voice picked by the Zone or Pro Box. Eventually, you lose that independence and people turn on you because they feel you sold out. That's the term, selling out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true, and that is true to a certain extent. I've never really gotten it. I mean, if you sell out means you have to prove it through actions. So if you used to say certain things and then you jump in bed with a corporate entity and now all of a sudden you really dial it down, then yeah, that's a sellout. But if a guy just has a partnership with somebody and they still maintain the same product, then how is that selling out?
As far as like showbiz?
No, I'm talking overall because I used to hear that in the music business too. It's like, there was this independent music group or musician.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now they're with a big record label and people are like, oh, he sold out. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, the music's still good. Like if the artist is cutting down something or cutting down on the quality, or let's say they got controversial lyrics and all of a sudden the lyrics get less controversial, then yeah, you can have an argument for saying that they sold out. But if all they did is they went on a bigger platform, then that's not really selling out per se.
Right. It's a fine line. I mean, look, you should want to grow and get bigger and get your voice out there and get more likes, subscribes, viewers. But at the same time, for me, like you said, if Frank Bay was offered the Zone or Pro Box, I don't know. I think I would have to say no. I know that sounds like look, BD, if they offered me 6 figures, I'd have to do it, right? But if let's say I was organic and I grew and became a bigger platform, I would say no, just because the people they trust me.
So you're saying, yeah, but you are correct in what you're saying though, that there would be some people who would make the decision with skepticism, like, wait a minute, he's joining the Zone or PBC or whatever. What's gonna happen now?
Well, also, like I really mean this, like just being a guy on the mic. I don't want to be a personality. I don't want to be a my face on the camera. I like to sit here and just talk with the people and be able to say what I really want to say. If I say, hey, these brothers are ducking each other, I can't say that on the Zone or boxing scene or whatever Pro Box. You can't say that. You know how we talk sometimes. The jokes we make, you can't do that.
You're right. Yeah, but that's the thing though, is the mission statement of a lot of our shows and people who share the same sense of humor like you and I and all that, we like to entertain the people out there. We don't just jump on here, well, I'm going to talk about what I find interesting and fuck the audience. Okay, then why are you online at all? If you're online, it's because evidently you want somebody to listen to what you're saying, right? And you want to confer with people and get feedback and whatever. So, so you got to have some sort of form of entertainment, sense of humor. But then like you're because not for nothing, but look, listen, I like boxing. And I listen to podcasts out there, but it's difficult to get into a new podcast when it's all about just the person's opinion, and it's all like, well, let's talk about what happened in the fight, and then they're just resuming the fight. It's like, well, okay, but I saw the fight. Why am I listening? You know what I mean? What insight am I getting? And not for nothing, but humor is a large part of maintaining an audience. That's why you, Solvers, Food TV, Bucho, you guys you get it. I don't know how to explain it, but you get what this thing is all about. It's about spicing it up a little bit, not lying and saying things you don't mean, but You have a strong opinion, and then you know how to layer some humor on top of it, or some interesting, not inflammatory language per se, but yeah, that type of language like provokes people a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to push people's buttons.
A little bit.
You know, you got to keep them on their toes a little bit.
Make them think.
That's what it. There you go. Make them think, because you know, you're talking about this podcast sphere. I mean, I don't even think I have a podcast. I just click a button and I'm talking to you, and people are listening. Podcasts would be like, I don't know. I see people with like 300, 400 viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about the other day. Like that Clarissa Shields shit is going crazy.
Oh yeah.
But it goes against me. Like I don't know. I can't do it. I can't sit there and pretend to care about Clarissa Shields and Papoose and but BDA. No, that's what I'm saying. And that's my main point is what instantly turns me off in this podcast sphere. And I'm gonna say their name, like the Boxing Voice. They're massive. They put out this fake news about Devin Haney signing with Zuffa. That's instant turnoff. And there's people I don't that I'm cool with in the Twitter sphere, and they put out fake news, and it's just getting insane. I'm like, yo, people are just they're desperate for the clicks and views with fake news, and they're putting out crazy narratives. I'm just like, man, that's the instant way for me to be like, I can't listen to that. It just seems like they're exploiting me.
Mm-hmm. The Boxing Voice thing there with the breaking news about Haney Shakur Stevenson is, I have a hard time believing that they would just spew that out for the sake of clickbait. I think they might have gotten the wrong information.
But there's been more instances, but there's like a whole ecosystem off of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people get paid on Twitter now. They get paid for clicks on Twitter. So they're putting out all these like headlines, breaking news, this and that. Like there was somebody, I think they got their account deactivated because they put out the stuff about Canelo leaving Eddie Reynoso.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like, man, you know, this is getting out of hand, because we're you know, me and BDA talk, but we bring it back to the central crux of is who's a trusted source? What do you listen to? Why do you listen to them? You know, it goes from reporters, podcasters, back to reporters, podcasters, and now yeah, but I seen that the other day. I'm like, how can people listen to that? Like, if you listen to like me and me and BDA talking, yeah, there's humor, but I don't think we're putting out fake news or spreading slanders, rumors, or feeding off Clarissa Shields like a lot of big podcasters are getting.
Yeah, the whole Clarissa Shields thing is that's a little bit weird, because I don't even know what's going on. I think she's abusing her husband. Is that what's going on?
I don't even know if that's her husband. He's a married man.
What?
You
to
didn't.
her, right?
No, he's married to like some rapper named Remy Ma.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole fucking Jay Springer episode.
My goodness gracious.
But people are like blowing up off that news. I'll look on if you go on Boxing and you look at lives, who's live, there's at least 5 Clarissa Shields things now. They're doing those 24 streams.
Mm-hmm.
They're just running with it, and it's getting 300, 400 people. They're not even boxing channels. Some of them, I'm like, what the hell? It's crazy.
Well, they hit gold with Clarissa Shields, because that's the other thing. That's the other rule of being a social media personality or just a public personality, is you don't go back and forth with the people. If they criticize you, guess what? You're a public personality now. You're a celebrity of sorts. Now that comes with the territory, as Mayweather we said. They got criticism. That's the name of the game. They have a right to criticize you. But going back and forth with them only fuels them even more. Now they're thinking, hey, this person replied to me. Let's keep on going. So, but Clarissa Shields is knee deep in that. She cannot let it go. She has to.
Yeah, you could hit 1K views like concurrently if you did a Clarissa Shields episode in Papoose.
And then she calls into the shows, so you know she's listening.
Well, those are the guys that they're doing these episodes. They're just constantly talking about her. they tried doing boxing. Like we're talking boxing, right? They tried doing boxing, and then they did one episode about Clarissa Shields. Oh, I get 50. Oh my God, I'm getting 80, 100, 150. So then they figured it out, right? Like what's something where you figure it out?
What do you mean?
Like you could be doing something in your life, and then you find like you're going door to door selling subscriptions, right? And then you figure out, oh, I do this, everybody signs up, so you just copy and paste.
Oh, like a eureka moment.
Yeah. There's things in life we do, and then you hit a like you say, eureka, but you just figure it out, and then you go, oh, this is all I gotta do. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that can only last so long, because eventually this whole Clarissa, and that's like I was saying the other day is, well, you're focusing on this whole Clarissa Shields thing, but how many of those people who are tuning in for you to talk to gossip about Clarissa Shields, how many of them are going to tune in when you start talking about Zayas versus Ennis or Nakatani versus Inoue? And, I mean, what's the point of having those people?
Yeah, Eric Gomez said the blueprint, the cheat code. But there it is, though. Is BDA just said it. It's a shooting star. You can only last so long with those things.
But speaking of lasting, you said that, I hate to have to reference a fucking comic book movie, but it's the one that everybody says, the Batman one where it says how does it go? You live long enough to be the bad guy or something like that?
If you live long enough to be the hero, you turn into the bad guy. Basically, that's what it's saying.
Something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson, I was surprised because when he beat Lopez, everyone was like, oh yeah, he did it for the hood, he beat the racism out that boy, blah, blah, blah. But now they're back to civil war, because now you got the Haney fans and the Tank Davis fans, a lot of them. And on top of that, other people are criticizing Shakur Stevenson for the whole, because he really screwed himself over with the whole catchweight thing. He's like, I don't need no catchweight. Then all of a sudden I need a catchweight, blah, blah, blah. Why are you surprised that people sort of turned on the guy?
Say that again.
Wait, what is this?
This is one of the culprits. Like, he's just been getting mad numbers, and no disrespect. I mean, he does his thing. You mentioned him the other day.
Yeah, because I didn't know whether to play it, but he posted a video that was I'm trying to be delicate here, because I don't even want to, maybe you never know how you can get taken down or whatever just by saying certain he said some very divisive, provocative stuff that people could construe or misconstrue perhaps as racially motivated or racially charged, and he doesn't give a shit. But I'm thinking, what is that what it takes now when you're going after Clarissa Shields? I don't know, I just found it surprising that he did it and that so many people were going after him, but then nothing, and not at this point, it's 2026, nothing happens. All these people that are scared, oh, but if they're gonna call me a racist and this and that, it's like, no, that doesn't work. It's not 2015 anymore, 2013, when you would get fired, or you know what I mean, based off of certain things you would say. Nowadays, there's more pressing issues in the world, particularly when it pertains to economics. So people just don't really have the time to get outraged anymore as much as they used to.
Well, he's doing like extremely good numbers off these Clarissa Shields blurbs, and going after her is crazy. What were you saying about Shakira though before? Because there's a clip of him I was trying to locate.
In the club, or?
Yeah.
I saw that, yeah. But I wanted to ask you, what do you think about that? That people are, so there it is. People have turned on him now.
Because he's unlikable. He's just unlikable. There's nothing. What BDA? Really ask yourself. When we listen to people, it's because we share some common interests, or I like this guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care for you, but I mean, you do a good show.
Thank
you. No, I'm just playing. We find something, but he's just unlikable. Is it just me? Am I being a hater? Because I don't try to pretend. I say I'm not a fan of this guy, but what am I to like about this guy?
Frank, that's a very pertinent point that you brought up there, because Gonzalo in 2022, he said, Shakur Stevenson, he's just so unlikable. He's so unlikable with the little fucking gremlin face, and he talks so much shit, and he looks like a chipmunk. And I said, there you go. And I remember people saying, well, that's the name of the game. That's, you got to talk your shit. You got to talk your shit. And then I'm thinking, okay, but then don't be surprised when people dislike you because you talk your shit. I mean, the point of talking shit is to provoke people, right? Well, that's what's happening now with him. The chickens are coming home to roost. I mean, I don't get that, Frank. First of all, Frank, what do you think about that concept of well, if you talk shit and you become dislikable, you're gonna become a star.
No, you're just an asshole.
That's the way I see it.
Because I'll talk shit to people in your chat and online, but I don't try to make a habit of that.
Right.
Like
so,
I don't make a habit of talking shit to everybody. I did. There was a point in time, a lie that I did, but I generally meant what I said because it was a boxing topic. But after a certain point, I said, man, I don't want to be that guy because I'm gonna get known for just talking shit, and I don't want to be him.
You are him, first of all. You are
Okay.
he. You are
I
he,
keep
not
it under
him.
lock. Oh, I am him.
But the going back to Shakur Stevenson, it's he's been talking so much smack, and now he backed himself into a corner, which is not something I would have expected. The way it turned out with the whole weight class thing, but he's the one that's screwed up, being so braggadocious. It don't matter. It's not about the weight. It's about the skills, and now it is about the weight. So he can. This is free advice here on the Frank Bay Show, by the way. This is what we do. We give it out for free. No Patreon, no nothing. The way he gets out of this is he fights the best. Now, he's never going to be loved. The mainstream media is going to try to push him when he wins by boring, uneventful decision. So that's the best he can get. But he can at least get out of this rump if he fights the best constantly. No more tune-up fights, no nothing. And really try to string together some combos. People will forget about this whole weight thing. You know what I mean?
I was what you're saying about why Shakur Stevenson. But look, I talk shit about Stanky Davis, but I never just didn't like him. I just thought he was kind of corny, kind of fruity, but I wasn't like, God, I just don't like this guy. I was like, okay, he gets knockouts. I'll watch him. I bought Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, and I understood, okay, I know why they like Tank Davis. He's a little hood. I get it. I'm not one of these cornballs you shouldn't be hood. And I get it. He has a thug appeal. That's little pause. But I understood. Does that make sense, BDA?
Yeah, you get what you're saying. But where are you?
Davis.
So where are you at with him now, though?
I mean, I still want to see him fight, but I don't. It's not like I dislike the guy. I just don't like that guy. But with this Shakur Twitterson, there's just something phony about him. I just get with Stank, I really believe he's kind of behind, and I'm not picking on slow people. I just think maybe he just had a lack of education. I don't think he graduated anything, right? Maybe people take advantage of him. Nah, that's funny? No, I'm being serious. I don't want to see anything bad happen. He's just a fuck. He just does it's his environment, right? But I don't not like the guy. But with this guy, I don't know, there's just something I don't like about him. He just seems like a phony.
Well, when it comes to Tank Davis, I didn't dislike him all that much until he started putting his hands on people and then running over pregnant women and fleeing the scene while they're sitting there asking for help, bleeding. That's when I said, okay, this guy's a piece of garbage. But
he is.
Hate is a strong. You see, that's the thing in the modern vernacular. Oh, you hate, you being a hater. Now, hate is something you reserve for real people who really deserve it. People that and boxers. Yeah, you're dislikable. That's
I
it.
give you an example. People really disliked Oscar de la Hoya because they thought he was a phony. It's just something, right? There was just something about Oscar. I remember uncles, they hated him. They already had called him a maricon. They were like, he's a fruitcake. I was like, I'm a kid. I'm like, no, he's my hero, right? Like a kid. And they're like, Frank, he's a fighter. Right?
Shut up.
Yeah. And they were just messing with me. I was like, my uncles were cool, and they were just like, he's gay, dude. No, Oscar's not gay. And then you figure out, oh, they knew something. They could see something in his kind of polished, I fight the best. There was just something about Oscar that was a little fake.
Your uncles are very perceptive, man, because they ended up, I don't know if he's full on Fanui, because the Italians say, but yeah, he ended up being a little bit on the fruity side. And you know what it was too, Frank? It was, people used to say, the reason why Mexicans hate him is because he beat Chavez. And that's what De La Hoya also said in his biography. He's like, oh, they never really wanted me because I wasn't born in Mexico. It had nothing to do really with that. These people never, right off the bat, if you get a gold medal around your neck and you're being pushed by the establishment, at least 60% of boxing fans are going to be against you. because they feel like you're gonna be you're special and you're privileged. But then De La Hoya had an attitude problem. Chris Arreola says, because he's a little bit younger than De La Hoya, so he was a kid when De La Hoya won his gold medal. And when he went to visit at the neighborhood gym one day, he was wearing his gold medal. De La Hoya was. He says Arreola says all the kids crowded around him. He's like, and he says that he tried to touch Arreola says he tried to touch the gold medal, and that De La Hoya sort of like grabbed it away. You know, I was like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't touch. So he says that he never really liked De La Hoya, because even then De La Hoya always had a bit of an attitude problem. And then, long story short, everything that, he was always very calculated with his words. He would say one thing like, I'm never going to fight Fernando. Sorry, Vargas. I ain't gonna. And then he fights him. When Vargas finally starts declining, he looks like shit. All of a sudden, you fight him. So he was little tactical moves, and I have a plenty, but I'm not going to go through all of them. And then this is one of the worst ones. For years, whenever he would face off against his opponents during the pre-fight instructions, and he would look up, right? And they always say, oh, he's looking up to thank his mother and blah, blah, blah. Turns out his mother, the narrative was always that his father was the cruel one, that he would always make him box when he didn't want to, blah, blah, blah. Turns out that it was the mother who was a little bit of the cruel one. That's what came out of the HBO documentary.
Yeah, I seen that on social media that, that was his whole shtick. He looked up to the sky, and that was his whole aura. Everybody talks about aura now. It was like Oscar, repping East Los and, praising his mother. And then, he actually comes out and says it. That was all fake.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of it was fake. The whole mother thing apparently was fabricated. The whole thing about how his mother, he promised his mother. I don't know about the promise thing, but I know the fact that it turned out his mother was the bad one. Like, she was the one who was a little bit cruel to him or something like that. So that was the story about De La Hoya eventually. It's like, it was a lot of fabricated stuff. He would always think things through too much, try to be the good guy. But then the real him would come out. Like when he said, when he beat De La Hoya, he beat Bob Arum in court, and he said, Bob is just angry that I beat the biggest Jew to come out of Harvard. Which is funny for him to say, but at the same time, that's the real you. You're a guy that gets a little bit pissy with people, a little bit cunty. Be that. Don't try to be the good guy.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, I don't think people have a problem with him being a jerk. Just don't try to be so polished. And that's why I know a lot of people don't like the new Oscar, but I kind of do. I like the antics, and not him in thongs dancing, but I kind of like him talking shit, because I think it's him saying, hey, I was trying to be polished so many years, but now, I'm rich, I'm famous, I don't have anything to hide, so I'm just going to talk my shit.
Mm-hmm. And I know some people can probably say, well, wait a minute, why are you saying the lawyer should have just been the asshole when you were criticizing Shakur Stevenson for being the asshole? But it's sort of two different things. What we're saying is people are less likely to dislike you if you're real. But if you're dislikable and you're trying to hide it, then people go, on top of that, he's being surreptitious. You know what I mean? He's being he's got some subterfuge going on. He's trying to be disingenuous. Like, that's the thing that people, on top of that, people hate you even more. With Shakur Stevenson too, I think a lot of it is because he's dislikable, but they're trying to push him as he's this likable guy. That way they present everyone treats him with kids' gloves. Like, Shakur, what do you think about, like, can you believe so many people are criticizing him? He's like, oh my God. It's like, nah, man, go at him for some of the stuff he says, some of the stuff he does.
Yeah, they treat him, like you said, they treat him like a kid. I think so why do we hate Floyd Mayweather so much? Because I remember Floyd Mayweather spoke out about Bob Arum was trying to make him like Sugar Ray Leonard and being all polished and precise and, doing Coke commercials. And he said, no, he didn't want to do that. So that's why he kind of chose the villain and be kind of thuggish. So he, Floyd Mayweather chose the opposite persona than Sugar Ray Leonard.
Maybe that's because that's all he had, right?
Floyd?
Yeah.
That he couldn't hide being just a dickhead.
Well, first of all, that's the thing. Leonard was a dickhead too, a little bit. Not as much as Mayweather, but he was a bit of a
right. But he had the polished kind of persona.
Boy,
doing Sprite commercials, walking old ladies across the street.
And you know what? Even at his worst, during the peak of his career, Leonard never really got into anything too controversial, whereas Mayweather was fighting with bouncers, breaking bottles over people's heads, domestic disputes. So yeah, that wasn't ever going to help him.
Yeah, he chose more the Mike Tyson villain role, but there was a time when they tried to make Mike Tyson like a America's teddy bear. What, like, wasn't he doing video games and commercials? Like, they try to pass him off as like this the likable monster.
I still remember there was which fight? One of his unification fights. They're doing a pre-fight feature, and he's in a home for people with special needs. I think that's a politically correct term now. And yeah, they were trying to push him as is. Look at him, he's so good with with these people, and
yeah,
and
it borders on very racial. Like, look at this guy. He's very nice for how he looks, because he looks like a monster.
That's the way a lot of America probably perceives it, or a big segment rather, not everybody.
I'm seeing this. Emiliano Vargas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's coming across as like too polished. I don't know. There's just something like it's like he's really trying to bring out this like really polished image, and now it's kind of like making me not like him.
Really?
It's weird. Well, I just feel like, because we're talking about Shakur Twitterson, and you see this image of him with strippers and whores and throwing money around, but when you see him, they're gonna try to make him seem like a good old American kid, never had no chances, and it's just like with
Emiliano. Vargas?
Emiliano, yeah, I feel like they're trying to polish him and give him this like really goody two shoe image.
So there's videos of him at a strip club or what?
No, I'm saying Shakira.
Oh,
we see this,
okay.
But they try to give us this polished image when he's in the mainstream media. And it just came out the top of my head mentioning Emiliano because like he's coming across as too polished.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I remember when that fight night 2004, I think it was, the game came out, and the announcer is a guy named Chi. I'm not kidding. I think that was his name. It was Chi or ER at the end, which I don't sounds too close to that word, so I'm not gonna say it. But
right.
And it's a guy with a jersey on, like a football jersey, and the big style pants from the 2000s, the hip hop pants, loose. He's got a big chain, and he was the announcer for in the video game. Hey, yo, everybody, and I still remember thinking, what is it? Why they couldn't get Buffer or at least Jimmy Lennon Jr.? What's going on? And I remember thinking, they're trying to get that crowd because they probably think, well, who plays NBA 2K and NFL 2K? Okay, well, let's get that demographic. And I'm thinking and then all the music, all the soundtrack, when you made your own fighter and you could choose the music?
Yeah.
It would go hip hop. I'm thinking, well, is there like another different genre of music that we can play around with here? No. So they're going back 20 something years later. They're circling back to that. And I don't know if you saw, but over at the Billboard records, I don't know if they're still the official ranking system, but I don't think a hip hop song has been at number one spot for years now. I think that's what they said.
Yeah, so that's what I heard too.
It's almost as if it's almost waning because it was always popular, the hip hop. Even in the 90s when it was gangster rap was still coming strong. It appealed to the suburban kids because this is hardcore, But now it's gone to the point where I think it's finally losing steam. I don't know much about that subject, so I'm just going off what I see. I could be totally wrong.
Well, you don't, but let me tell you, no, no, it's dead. Hip hop is dead. That whole entire culture to me is dead. They've said it. There's not a hip hop in the top Billboard or whatever. No, it's dead. It doesn't have any more. There's nobody to represent it.
And even in the 90s, it's never been my favorite genre of music, but I like some of it. And if you compare what you heard from the late 80s, 90s, and early 90s, mid 90s, it's a hell of a lot better than what we have now in terms of hip hop.
There's no more radio stations. There's no more magazines. Yeah. We were talking about magazines earlier, mainstream publications that people could go to. I think that I'm sure you never watched like the BET Awards. Did you ever watch the BET Awards, BDA?
On the news if something ever happened, but no, I never.
Oh yeah, they would have shootouts there, but there's no more BET Awards. There's no more mainstream. It's a dead era. There was like Source magazine. You had magazine publications. It doesn't exist anymore. Everything's meta. everything's meta. When I mean meta, there's like these podcasters like DJ Academics. There's all these like hip hop,
Yeah.
and what they do is they dissect the environment. It's meta. Do you know what meta means?
Absolutely.
You understand
I'm the
what
master of
meta is.
meta. I'm the meta master.
Go ahead, man. Can you give me a second? Sobers is here. He can help you.
So where's is that real? Is that the real
Most
story?
effective tactic available. Meta.
All right, so I think it's just you and me, Sobe, for the moment. I think Frank's got it.
It's a gaming term, BDA. That's something I
Exactly.
noticed. A lot of gaming terms have taken over the internet. Yeah.
Well, the definition that I understood was something like more an analysis of an analysis, for the most part. That's the way I understood
again?
it. It's I always understood meta to be an analysis of an analysis.
And then there was something else. I've seen it used in a different way too, right?
Yeah,
It
something like
was used as a way of people were like substituting, saying breaking the fourth wall. It's like, oh, that's still meta.
Right, like if you're
that what you mean?
doing, yeah, like in the superhero movies when they've run out of cliches, so now they point out the cliche in the movie. That's meta. But what's up, Sobers? Hey, I heard you had a wild night over there over La Taqueria yesterday, and it wasn't even a big fight.
No, it's popping off though, right?
It was.
I think a
It's
lot of
a
people
lot
were
of-
drunk. I was a little drunk.
Well, you were a little tipsy.
Not right now. I'm saying, but I think I was. Not yesterday, but Friday. Friday
Hey,
was
man.
funny as hell, bro. But I wasn't live or nothing.
And this week, though, it's this month, the whole month, we got just this Saturday, man. We got Inoue and Nakatani. That's for us boxing hipsters, and then you got Benavidez Zurdo on top of that.
I'm good.
You're still picking Zurdo to win.
I don't know.
Wow, come on.
We'll see how he looks on when they weigh in. But yeah, I mean, I believe in him. I don't like the weight jumping and it's a bit hypocritical to me, right? Why aren't you at your weight class fighting the guys that you need to fight? When you're saying Canelo ducking you, and you're still saying Canelo's ducking you, but now you look like you're picking and choosing your fights as well. You know, no one was asking for that fight. I think if you're a Dave Benavidez fan, which I am, right, of him in the ring,
Mhm.
I would have liked to see him fight Better Biev or Bebo, because I do think he could beat those guys. And then once you cleaned up shop there, okay, maybe if that was too easy, maybe you should move up. But you don't know how great you are at 175. You're jumping up to to 200 pounds now.
Interesting take right there. Interesting take.
And
What-
then he's like, I'm gonna jump back down. Like, relax, Roy Jones Jr. That's what got him knocked the fuck out, isn't it?
what are you in the middle of doing right now?
I'm just putting something away, okay?
Oh boy, I hear some digging. I hear a shovel hitting dirt, and
No. You don't hear
No.
that. Look, I have some freeze-dried goods. I have some cold cuts I have to wrap and put inside a freezer that no one will find. I mean,
oh,
for
wait a
later
minute.
use.
Yeah, but we were just
Okay.
talking. We were Frankie and I were talking about popularity in terms of boxing and YouTube boxing, and the YTBC, and how a lot of people want to get in. They want to be on top. They want to have a lot of eyes on them. And we were talking about how, well, now once you have a lot of eyes on you, you have a lot of eyes on you. Everything you say is going to be dissected. And
Mhm.
speaking of the cuff, you're never always going to be able to fully explain what you mean. So it can be misconstrued, taken out of context, and that's how trouble starts, because a lot of people can't take criticism. So instead of saying, well, let me address what I said, not like, hey, fuck you, man, fuck you. And then people go, oh, this person reacts. So let's start fucking with them more.
Just start
And
fucking
before you
with them,
know
man.
it, yeah, before you know it, they become lolcows.
Yeah. Or they're, drunk and in a stupor, confused and horny in a truck stop, don't know what they're doing,
That's right.
jumping in the passenger seat of a strange man and start calling themselves crazy names like booty loose or tight ass.
Yeah, then you start calling into shows, saying you're gonna decapitate people, like you're from ISIS or
Right.
something. But yeah, man, that's
You got
that's
violated.
Yeah, that's how it goes for some people. They need to take their meds. But the point is that a lot of these YouTube things.
We
'cause
got
yes.
what's the name's backstage? Fucking Carl. But I don't think Frank Bay's here right now, bro. I think
How
he
can you
stepped
see
off.
who's backstage, by the way?
Where they start typing? He's typing in the back chat. You can see the little.
Oh, okay. Well, Carl, we're waiting for Frank to come back. He went for another alcohol run. He said he ran out of Chavez. He said so. He had to go get some more, but he'll be back soon. He will be back soon, and as soon as he's back, pretty sure he'll let you in for a good price. He wants to be compensated. Those chelas ain't free, man. That's what I always say. Oh yeah, but back to the De La Hoya thing. Yeah, so Frank was
Convention Center.
What's that?
Gold Coast Convention Center.
Convention Center. But what's his name? Yeah, Frank was right about his uncles were right. The lawyer was always a little bit fake on the fake side, and so they were able to see through it. But the way the lawyer painted it was like, no, it's because they don't like me. They dislike me because I beat up Chavez, their hero. I was like, no, I don't think it really had much to do with that.
What's going on, fellas?
Well, I do think a lot of people didn't like that, though.
We got Carl
What's going
jumping in. Carl, what's up, man?
Can you hear me?
What up?
Yes.
What up, homies? What up, homies?
All right.
I'm trying a new tack. I'm coming in. These fucking bikies. Sick of
What
this
time is
fuck-
it where you're at right now, Carl?
It's 11:15 Monday morning.
Oh, okay. So it's nice and bright out there, huh?
Yeah.
Carl.
Yeah, it's good.
Carl. They were talking about you at Stormy's, bro. Yeah, we miss him. We miss him calling us cunts.
Yeah, fuck the Kiki and Kaka, bro. I'm gonna leave that for you, man. I'm gonna leave that for you guys. I live with 4 fucking women. Like I keep saying, man, I live with 4 women. I don't need more drama in my fucking life. Fuck that shit. I'm if this Errol Spence Tim Tszyu happens, man, I'm going. I think this is Tim's
Hell yeah.
last. I think
Hell
this
yeah.
is his last. I think this is his last hurrah.
Are you talking about
Who's-
Tim Tszyu or Errol Spence?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking both of them. I think they're both fucking done.
I think this is Errol Spence's last fight.
Yeah, I think so. I think you might be right.
He's about to get executed. Hey, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I hope you do go.
Oh, I'm
Enjoy
going.
it. Get a good zoom in video of that fool when he hits the ground. And then when the flames start licking up in the arena, that shit's badass.
Yeah,
I love that shit. When
Yeah,
he
yeah.
knocked out Tony Harrison, he was hitting him with them uppercuts. And then
Yeah.
they knew what was happening, right? So they just started launching the flames. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that shit's so badass, dude.
That was good, eh?
Welcome to hell. Good.
And you know what? You know what? It's going to be at the Gold Coast, but it won't be at the convention centre.
Where's it gonna be then? Oh, they got 2 gold.
gonna-
It's yeah.
No, they got a stadium at the Gold Coast. It's called Seabus Stadium.
So it's gonna be a
So it's
stadium,
gonna
man.
be. So it's gonna be
Oh, yeah.
Seabus Convention Gold Coast Seabus Station
Stadium.
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 Fuck that up, BDA. Come on, man.
Hey, that's gonna be. Hey, listen. People can talk all they want. We can complain about, why is Errol Spence getting this fight? He's gonna get hurt. Blah blah blah. Hey, listen to no pain, no gain, no risk, no
Fucking
reward.
oath. Get in the
Let
ring,
him
a lot of
take
you
it.
cunts.
That's right. Get in there, give us a good show, and you'll be all right.
Yep.
Believe me,
Fucking oath.
you'll be fine. Trust me.
Fucking oath. I just want all these cunts in the ring, mate. I think it's what kills the sport, BDA. Motherfuckers sitting on the couch like us.
Well, I have a specially formed couch, by the way. So it's technically it's not a couch; it's
You guys
European.
his
So
memory foam of his ass.
You still have a 70s love seat?
that's right. Have
What
to
up,
throw it
Frank?
out now.
Yo, what up, Kyle?
What's going on, bro?
Shit.
Yeah, I'm going to this fight, man. I've got a leave pass from the Minister of War and Finance, and yeah, I'm fucking going. Me and Jed Kyle are going.
Oh. Now, Jed Kyle, that's another Aussie from the YTBC. Now, I suspect there's not going to be any drinking of any sort, right?
Definitely no drinking. Definitely no devil's dandruff. There'll be no performance enhancing. There will be none of that shit. Who am I kidding? Oh, my fucking nose just grew 2 inches.
No.
Fuck. Shit.
Wait a minute.
I can't believe this shit's happening to me. But yeah, no, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. We might get into a fight. Who knows? At least I'm going with the right guy, you know?
That's right.
I'm going with Outlaw. So, yeah, he's a good cunt, man, Outlaw. You know what, man? For the life of me, like Tim's just announced he's got Jeff Fennick, Johnny Lewis, and his father in his corner. Why the fuck didn't he have these guys from day one?
Well, didn't he say that having his father in the audience made him nervous?
Yeah, well, that was his pro debut. You know, he hated having his dad in the fucking. His dad was a distraction.
I hate my dad. You know?
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think a trainer like Johnny Lewis, bro. Johnny Lewis is the best Australian trainer in history. In Australian history. I do not know for the life of me why Tim never had him with him from fucking day one. Johnny Lewis is the fucking GOAT, bruh. He's Jeff Fennick's trainer. He's Costa's trainer. Fucking Jeff Harding's trainer. Pretty much any Australian that fucking held the title back in the 90s and 80s and early 2000s, Johnny Lewis was the man.
I was under the impression he'd passed away.
Well, he's fucking old. He's very old. Very old. But
I
yeah,
think
he's in Timmy's corner, mate. Hopefully, the thing is, man, I just don't know. Can you teach an old dog new tricks? That's what I want to know.
Right.
You know, can Tim all of a sudden learn how to use his feet? Can he learn how to use a bit of lateral movement? Can he learn how to fucking parry a shot and, you know, maybe try some defense instead of using his face?
But Carl, that's what I don't understand though, because his last fight, this last dude that he fought, he looked pretty good against that guy. And okay, the guy wasn't a top 10 dude, but he looked solid. And Tim Tszyu does a lot of things well in there. He throws punches from all angles, and decent defense. He works the body well. I don't really think he needs a specific trainer. I think he just needs to stick to one trainer. That's it. But it's almost as if he's trying to find the perfect formula. I don't know what is he looking for exactly.
Yeah, you know what? One thing I'm critical of Tim in his last 2 fights. So he fought Anthony Velasquez, right? That coach diabetes. I mean, type 2 Bermudez. His guy. He fought his guy, man, and beat him with a 1-2. And then when he fought Dennis Nurja, he did this. It was the same fucking recipe, bro. And it's like Tim's scared to let his hands go. He's scared to get encountered. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm just not sure that Timmy's there anymore, you know, I think he might be a bit fragile, bro.
Yeah, maybe he's just
shell shocked. It's going to be a good fight, man. There's so many intangibles in this fight, you know, like Errol Spence is renowned for not taking tune-ups. And Tim Tszyu will fight any cunt. Tim Tszyu does not care, man. He will fight anyone. So, I think it's the end of the road for a pair of these cunts. I think it's Tim's last big fight. I really do. I think it's Timmy's last big fight.
Man, I hope. I feel like Tim Tszyu's gonna beat the shit out of him.
Oh, I hope so, man.
You know, I feel like everyone's gonna be talking about how Tim Tszyu's bouncing back after this.
Yeah,
Tim Tszyu bouncing back.
For real. I'm telling you. I think he's gonna just beat the brakes off of Errol Spence.
I think that'd be cool, but damn, him bouncing back. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
I'm telling you.
Errol Spence.
If he has him up against the ropes like he had Tony Harrison, and he's uppercutting him, and they start playing the Flames again. You know, yeah, they will. I bet you.
Yeah, the Flames, man. You're obsessed with the Flames.
I love that shit.
You know, Sobers, the only problem I've got, bro, is Tim hasn't done that since that fight. Tim hasn't let his fucking hands go, bro.
True.
He will not let his fucking hands go. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with the guy. He just won't let them hands go. It's like he's scared of being countered, man. I don't know. But saying that, like, what fucking version of Errol Spencer we got after 3 years? Is it good enough? Is this version of Errol good enough to beat Tim? I just don't know, man. That background music fucking sucks, Frankie.
Mine right now.
Oh, it fucking takes it up the arse like a rotisserie chicken.
Bow chicken wow wow.
And by the way,
That- Go ahead.
for the record, I was not making fun of your intro the other day. I didn't even play. It
You
wasn't
were.
even me.
It's okay.
It wasn't even me who played it. It wasn't me who played. I'm being serious here. I'm being serious here. Super serious. Super duper serious with some salt on top
busy
of it.
day.
No, it's okay. I accept criticism. I'm
come on.
I'm my hardest critic.
So that's
You gotta
gonna
try
be it.
different things.
So that's gonna be it. It's, oh, it was BDA who was criticizing it. No. It wasn't. I'm not gonna take the fall for this one. Not for this one.
Nah, they just randomly play it.
I mean, there's two people who can play shit on the air. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, most things I try to find are copyrighted.
Are you trying to
so-
blame Bucho?
I'm not trying to. No, I am blaming him.
The poor cunt's not even here to defend himself.
Well, you can't please everybody, right?
That's right. That's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. But speaking of the Tim Tszyu, so I mean, yeah, Tim Tszyu. Why did I hear on Twitter? And again, we'll take it with a grain of salt. But him and his brother don't get along either.
Yeah, they've had a falling out, bro. Tim changed
What
the
the
fucking locks at the gym. At the Zoo Boxing Academy. Tim changed the fucking locks. He locked him out.
Damn.
Yeah. And you want to know something? Oh, here's the kicker, bro. Nikita got married and no one in his family went.
What?
Yeah. No one went to his marriage. No one went to his wedding, bro.
Did he marry a gypsy and the family was against it or something? What happened?
I've got no idea. He could have been Ukrainian or something. I don't know. Because you all know how Russians and Ukrainians are right now.
Yeah, these are two washed guys. They're washed. They're both washed.
Yep.
I mean, you know what sucks is Tim Tszyu was on the cusp of undisputed. It's crazy to think about that, right? Like he was supposed to fight Jermell Charter for undisputed, and it just kept getting postponed.
Yep. Well, he kept taking step aside. He took step aside money, bro. It's his own fucking fault. He took the step aside money. No one else but him. He took the step aside for the Castano fights. He was the mandatory. Then he took the step
But
aside
Earl
money.
Spence, people want to see Earl Spence again. I want to see him.
I want to see Charles. I want to see all these faggots get off the fucking couch, bro.
Yeah, Charlo, Spence. I mean, you got to see him get exterminated, right?
Oh, exactly, bro. Fuck, I want to see these cunts in there against fucking.
I mean, there's still names. I mean, we'll talk about it. It's boxing talk. There's still names.
Yep.
Earl Spence is still a name.
Well, you know,
Yep.
the guy that you've been getting along with so nicely over at the Discord, the boxing chief, he said it years ago. He said with the whatchamacallit, with the BBC, what they're doing is they're cutting inventory. They've been cutting inventory for years now. So they're pulling out all the stops, bringing out all the old names to finally get rid of them. Like that's what they did with Keith Thurman. They finally gave him a beating. So if they choose to use him,
Yep.
maybe that's going to happen. But for the moment, it's almost like, all right, see, we got no reason to bring you back, really, because look at you, you're done. You're done, so you're finished. So we might give you another chance, but now it's on our terms. You know, you take the money we offer you. And they might be doing the same thing with the Charles and all that. Maybe one final payday, but at the same time, they're using them because they're still relevant, somewhat relevant names. And that's what they're bringing back. Spence, Charlo.
In our already deep division.
Hey, how much
Exactly.
is this Benavidez Zurdo pay?
How much is it?
Yeah.
Probably 100 smacks. It's $89.99 plus the tax and everything. So 100 smackers.
I like how
Well,
Frank's got the lingo, the gangster lingo, the old school lingo. 100 big
Gangsta.
ones.
100 smackers.
The stacks. But you ain't got it? Come on.
Yeah, no, it's $49 in Australia. It's the cheapest pay-per-view we've had in Australia. Like, we pay more to watch retired rugby league players lace a set of gloves. Make that make sense. I'm actually
I think
looking
it's a
forward-
great card. It's a good card. I mean, it's a good card. Everybody talks about the card, so I think it's a good card.
Bro, I like I like Resendez and Munguia, bro. I think that's going to be a fucking absolute barn burner.
Oh, war.
I like that fight, man.
You guys
I'm a
just
big
want to see
fan of
brown on
Resendez.
brown violence. That's all it is.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, eh? I saw some fucking idiot. I don't know where I was, but I saw some fuckwit complaining, saying, why aren't there any black fighters on the card? I'm like, dude, can you just read what the fuck you just wrote, you clown? Like, it's Cinco de Mayo. It's, you know, fuck. It's, oh, man, I don't know, but there's some people sounding really desperate. It just makes me fucking laugh and cringe at the same time, bro.
They should probably have some diversity. I think he might be accurate. You know, it's this is the Super Bowl of boxing, isn't it? This is boxing's biggest day.
I want to see how Benavidez handles that weight jump, man. That 25 pounds.
Man, you guys are underestimating Zurdo. Who's underestimating Zurdo?
I'm picking Zurdo, bro.
You're putting money on him?
I'm picking Zurdo. Fucking oath, I'm putting money on him as an underdog, bro.
Shit. Okay, I respect anybody who puts money where their mouth is. That's who I respect.
Of course,
I don't respect all these people that just, you know, but say their guy's gonna win, but don't put no money down.
I'll tell you one thing I don't do, bro, is I don't do fucking bets on fucking line anymore. Because no one pays their fucking bills.
Oh, yeah, I would never do that.
No one pays it. No one does.
Well, BDA has a boxing league. You can put money on. Well, I think you guys are giving away a gift card. I don't know. That's what Bucho said or something.
Is that what he's in?
Do it. Yeah, well, boxing prediction league.
I got 6-1 odds on Zurdo by decision.
He's really 6-1?
He's paying 6-1.
Damn.
Zurdo by decision. I mean, only an idiot wouldn't put money on that, bro. Only an idiot wouldn't have money on that, man. I just think David's going to slow down in the later rounds, bro. I really do.
At cruiserweight, how much is he going to be weighing? 200 plus?
See, it all depends. If he comes in at 200, bro, he's cooked. He can't go. I think he's got to try a bit of a cut. Like, I know people say he walks around at 215, 220. Yeah, I get that, right? I get that. But here's the kicker, bro. It's your first fight. You've gone 5 months. You didn't do what fucking Bud Crawford did and take the whole year to acclimate to the weight. You've gone there in 5 months. So the weight cut's definitely not going to be an issue. The weight jump won't be an issue. But, you know, like, you got to sacrifice that stamina. That's the thing, man. Like, you're not doing that. You're not doing the weight cut. No, I think the weight cut is a part of your conditioning, bro.
He definitely looks like the smaller man in there. He's going to be the smaller man versus Zurdo Ramirez. Davis built his career off being a weight bully, right?
Yep. 100%.
He was a weight bully versus Caleb Plant versus Dimitri Andrade. I think that was his best win. Am I wrong? Dimitri Andrade. I mean, who didn't want to see him get his ass beat?
I don't even fucking know what his best win is, if I'm honest, man. Caleb Plant was done. You know, Canelo walked the floor with him. Boo Boo was out. How long was Boo Boo out for before he fought Demond Nicholson?
Yeah, he was out a while. Nobody was impressed with Anthony Yarde.
No.
No? That's not an impressive win?
Anthony Yarde.
Oh, yeah. You're an Upataya guy. I know Carl's Upataya guy. He don't like Benavidez, the El Monstro. Anthony Yarde was solid. I mean, we seen Anthony Yarde beat, but I think it was a solid win. You don't think it was a solid win?
Well, I think Anthony Yarde was a lamb at the slaughter, man. That's what I called that fight. I said Anthony Yarde is a lamb at the slaughter with Benavidez, bro.
Okay.
He was there for the taking. He'd been fucking stopped a couple of times before. It's not like Benavidez took his O or anything. Like, and the guy fought British level competition.
But what about? I mean, you're not impressed with moving up another weight division because he's at 168. He goes up to 175 and gets fights Gvozdyk, gets a decent win, and then he gets a title. So that's not impressive.
Well, where did he get a title?
At 175.
What did he get? An email belt?
I believe it was an email belt. Can somebody correct me?
So email, it's like Tim Tszyu. Fuck the email belts. They're not real belts.
Okay.
It didn't beat a champion. You got to beat a champion for that belt to be worth the shit, man. Fuck
But
email belts.
You weren't impressed by how he beat Anthony Yarde?
I knew he was going to beat Anthony Yard like that, man. Anthony Yard's fucking done. Anthony Yard, I've never been that high on Anthony Yard. I thought he was a good British level light heavyweight, bro. He looked all right against fucking Beterbiev until he fucking didn't get up off the stool. But that's his claim to fame, was like he was winning a few rounds against Beterbiev and until he fucking said no mas.
Yeah, I mean, more of DC says the old Gvozdyk win didn't age well.
Hell no, not when Hot Rod fucking lamps the cunt.
There you go.
And Hot Rod had been out for 18 months, bro. That was his tune-up fight against Gvozdyk. And he was losing rounds, and then fucking bang, Gvozdyk couldn't make it to his feet. I don't know, man. I don't think many of his... I look at Morel versus Kataev, man. I think Kataev got robbed against Morel. I think Morel lost that fight to Kataev.
Really? I have to disagree with you, but I mean, I know it was a tougher fight, but I thought Morel was legit. I think Morel was a legit good win.
He dropped... I mean, fucking Kataev dropped him, and I don't know, man. I thought Kataev beat him. But hey, we've all got our own set of eyes, man. It's just an opinion.
No. I mean, we judge them on their. You're only as good as your last fight. But I think David Benavidez is the real deal. I think he's the real deal.
You think he stops? You think he stops Zurdo?
Does he? Jeez, no. I think it'll go to decision. I think Zurdo's a really good boxer. I think we're underestimating Zurdo Ramirez. Look, I think Morel was a really tough fight. It was a tough fight. David got dropped. Morel's really good. I think Zurdo is gonna be a hell of a boxer in there. You think he can stop Zurdo Ramirez? Does anybody think he can stop Zurdo Ramirez?
Well, he's got to, bro. He's got to look impressive. Like, if you want to be called a monster, how can you be called a monster and you go on the distance with people, bro?
That's not very monstrous, right?
Yeah, I mean, Zurdo's got a big-ass head, so the target's going to be... It's not like he moves around the ring a lot, but...
Well, BDA, I disagree. I think Zurdo, since he's gone to cruiserweight, he started using footwork, bro.
Yeah, he's using footwork, but he's still getting hit a lot. Yeah, I mean, you look at that...
He gets hit a lot, but he's very durable, big dude, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to say.
All those advantages that Benavidez has had in the past with guys, man, it's fucking gone. It's gone against this guy. The only thing he's got against him is the output. And here's my thing, man. Later on in the fight, rounds 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, is Benavidez going to still have that volume and that output when he's not doing the cut? I think the cut's a part of the conditioning, bro.
I agree, man.
I just don't know, man. And I think we have weight classes for a reason, man. And 25 pounds is a fucking big... That's the biggest jump, bro.
It is.
That's the biggest jump in boxing.
Yeah, it could be two things, right? It could be either Benavidez looks stronger because he doesn't have to cut that much weight anymore, or he's in a bit of a bind because now he's facing people his own size, and all of a sudden the style he used before doesn't work anymore. That's what we could be seeing too.
You know, is this volume going to be there, man? Is he going to have that volume carrying these extra 25 pounds, not cutting to 175? Like, he's going to make the weight easy. It's not going to be a problem for him, but I'm thinking, man, if he doesn't come in at 190 or 192, if he comes in 195 to 200, man, I just don't know if the guy's going to have the stamina in the later rounds. I know what to expect out of Zurdo. Yeah, he's not a fucking magician. He's not fleet of foot. You know, he's not a massive puncher. But the guy can move, man, and he's a southpaw.
Yeah, that's one possibility. That's one. I mean, who knows? it's one of those fights where there's those X factors, and we won't know for sure. Anybody that tells you, "Oh, this is how it's gonna go," they're guessing as much as anybody else, man, because we just don't know how he's gonna look at 200 pounds. Now, the other thing is that that guard. I keep talking about the guard, the Benavidez guard. Oh, he's got a great guard, very dynamic guard, blah blah blah. That's all well and good, but what happened? A guard is only as good as its resistance. There could come a point where he goes up against Zurdo, and maybe all of a sudden those punches start breaking through the guard. Maybe he feels the punches more than he was accustomed to. He starts getting a little bit. I'm talking about Benavidez. He starts becoming a little bit more hesitant to go in there and get on the inside, because now he feels the other guy's shots. I mean, I don't know. I felt he respected Plant's power a little bit early on in their fight. It wasn't just the movement that was giving him trouble. It was the power too. He seemed hesitant to step in there against Benavidez early on.
Yep.
So I wonder how he's going to handle the power from Zurdo, because Zurdo, he might not be the fastest. He doesn't have fast hands, but he's got heavy hands.
Yep. Yeah, I like the fight. I like the fight for the intangibles in the fight. I want to see Benavidez at the weight. I want to see how he looks. I want to see if he's still got that stamina, bro. And everyone says, he'll make the weight easy. I'm not fucking guessing for 1 second he can't make the weight easy. Of course he can make the fucking weight. What I'm saying is, when you don't do the cut and you don't have the same preparation, you've got to, you're going to be lacking in stamina, bro. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. And they're the rounds that, and if Benavidez doesn't look good, if he doesn't 10-2 him, 8-4 him, I'm not going to be impressed, bro. I'm just not going to be impressed. If he wins the close decision, man, a 7-5, or, I'm not going to be impressed, man. He ain't no fucking monster.
Yeah, I seen that you posted the Prime video. Did you actually watch it, BDA?
No.
The gloves off?
I did not.
Yeah, well, he's talking like, he's going to go out and stop Zurdo Ramirez. But I think it's 50-50. But you guys are talking, I'm listening. I think this is a 50-50 fight. Am I wrong for thinking it's 50-50?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Whoa.
I'd not even lean a look, maybe 60-40 to fucking Zurdo. Hey, call me crazy, but I think a guy that's been at the division, is acclimated, and is a unified champion. He's not an interim unified champion. He's an actual champion. He actually fought champions. I think that guy's got a better chance.
Well, I mean, look, the more you're talking, the more I think it's 50-50. I don't.
Hey, don't take my word, Frankie. I've been wrong a fucking 1,000.
No. I'm saying no, because I'm thinking Benavidez has the edge. But now that I think about it, I think it's more 50-50. I'm leaning towards a split. This is a highly competitive matchup. I don't think Benavidez is a heavy favorite, because you're saying he's a favorite. I don't think he's a heavy favorite.
He's a $1.28 favorite, bro. He's a very heavy favorite.
Yeah, I don't see it that way. I think
Me either.
Zurdo Ramirez has a great chance. So I'm kind of leaning with you, and he has a great chance. But at the same time, I think, all we have to go on is talking about Benavidez's wins. And I think he has some really good wins. I think Morrell was a really good win and a really good gauge of how he can handle somebody moving, because Morrell was the boxer in that situation. He's slick, he's strong, and I think that's kind of similar to how he'll be able to fare against Zurdo Ramirez. But he's got an uphill task, because Zurdo's a lot bigger.
Yeah, and Morrell, to me, man, hadn't proved anything. I think Morrell was a fucking hype job, bro.
He was good. But see, Carl, I got to tell you, no, Morrell's a really good boxer, man. He was really good in there. I think he gave David a hell of a fight.
Who did he fight before David, bro? He fought no one.
Well, I get that, but what I'm saying is, if you look at him as a fighter, just as a one-on-one, I think he's a really good fighter. I think he beats a lot of people. Morrell ain't it. Yeah, I know he ain't it, but he's a good fighter. I'm telling you.
I disagree, bro. I'm not that high. After watching a big, slow Russian like Kataev being trained by the great fucking Kim Kambosos, I don't know, man. If that guy can give Morrell problems, this is what I talk about, wins that don't age well, bro. The Vosnik win didn't age well. The Morrell win, Kataev, You can say it was close, right? I think Katayev won the fight. He put him on his ass. Morrell slowed down big time at the end of that fight. And I don't know, man. These wins aren't aging well. You know, we talk about wins that don't age well. You know, they don't age well. I mean, Canelo's wins over Belanga and Munguia didn't age well. You know, they got knocked out in their very next fight, both of them. Those
Morrell
type of wins,
a bum?
man.
Matador says Morrell is a bum. You think he's a bum? Well,
I agree with
you know,
Matador.
look, man. I mean, we'd have known more if he fought Callum Smith. He was supposed to fight, and had he beat Callum Smith and become a champion again, you guys would have said he was good. So, that's the great thing about boxing, man. It's like, I think he's a good fighter. He's a good, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I'll tell you one thing I've learned in boxing, right? 12 months is a fucking long time in boxing. A lot can happen in 12 months. I look at a guy like Tim Zurdo. Look what happened to him in 2025. His whole career just got fucking derailed. Yeah, it can happen, man. It can happen. You take that L and, you know, shit goes pear-shaped. I don't know, man. I know 12 months is a long time.
Benavidez couldn't knock out Gvozdyk. Gvozdyk he was solid. I mean, he was coming off a layoff, but he's a solid fighter. I mean, I think you guys are. I'm gonna stick up for David in this situation. I think you guys really underestimate the monster Benavidez.
Well, we got to see that monster. We got to see. I've got to see it. I've got to be.
I've seen it. I've seen him destroy his opponents.
Yep. I just don't know, man. When you jump up a weight division and you've got a 33% knockout ratio.
Well, there it is, right? Like, damn.
I don't
when
think
you say it like that.
I mean, Shakur Stevenson's got a better knockout ratio. Is he a monster?
No, but he's fighting Zurdo Ramirez. He's fighting a bigger guy that's gonna box, and he has to go in there and take him out. So, Carl, if he beat the way you're talking about David, I gotta challenge you, Carl. We're boys, but I gotta challenge you. You gotta come here and put him on your pound for pound. If he gets to Zurdo and stops him, you gotta tell me this. Okay,
100%.
See, Carl's a real dude. Carl's real because a lot of motherfuckers wouldn't do that.
No, you know what, man? I want to see the monster. I'm sick of these titles. You know, Inoue is a monster, bro. I mean, the guy actually lives up to his fucking name. David's just not living up to that fucking tag that Mike Tyson gave him. Hey, maybe if he bit someone's ear off or something, I might give him a monster title. But man, you just got to stop these dudes, bro. And he's just not doing it for me.
I mean, I still think he's but Carl, he's still must see TV. You gotta say that the guy comes to fight.
He's good to watch.
Come on, Carl. Like, look, I know you're for Opataya, and I fuck with you, Carl. You're my homie.
Got nothing to do with this.
Nah, I really fuck with Carl. Carl's a real motherfucker, but I know he's Will Opataya, so I'm gonna push back on Carl today.
I know he doesn't want to fight Opataya, bro. That's not very good either, is it?
I don't. David comes to fight. And he gives a good fight, and I think I know you fuck with Opataya, so I know you're gonna go against David. But I think you got to admit, man, if he beats Zurdo and he looks good, now I'm gonna look like an idiot if Zurdo boxes him. But I'm sitting here telling you it's 50-50.
Yeah, but you got to draw a line in the sand, fuck you, and pick a side, bro. You're not.
I'm picking the side, Carl. I'm picking David.
Yeah, but we got to see that monster. You got to live up to that.
But Carl, if he beats him, you got to give him his pound for pound status.
Yeah, but what if he beats him in a close fucking decision?
It don't matter, Carl. That's why yeah, okay.
Nah, sorry. Nah, if he don't box his ears off,
we'll see. Now we got a line in the sand, Carl.
If he don't box his ears off,
if
he don't box his ears off, that's nothing for me. I'm sorry.
If you don't kill him, it don't count. That's what it is, right?
100%, man. Like, live up to your name, motherfucker, or drop the title.
Well.
Yeah, I just...
By yourself the monster, yeah, you're not trying to beat nobody.
I get where Carl is coming from. That, hey, listen, you want to be pound for pound, top 10, you got to show us something worthy of a top 10. And look, this is a big risk he's taking, Benavidez. I mean, who else is jumping up? everyone's like, oh, he jumped up a division, he jumped up 2 divisions. This is this is 175 to 200 pounds. So he did this. I mean, he's gonna be probably be fighting a guy who's 195, 197. I don't know how much Zurdo weighed in the last time against Dorticos, but it's a risk that Benavidez is taking. And it's a big risk to find legacy wise, because his whole shtick for the last couple of years now has been the guy that Canelo didn't want to fight. Oh, Canelo, and he keeps ringing it up because now it's become clear Canelo doesn't want to fight me. So now it's like, well, if you lose, you're no longer the boogeyman. And historically, people who have solidified their position as the boogeyman, once they lose that, it's almost like, well, what else you got?
So Ramirez weighed 199 3/4 pounds in the Titus fight, and he weighed 199.5 against Chris Phillips Smith.
Oh, so yeah, he's a cruiserweight.
Yep. I hope David doesn't come in at those weights, bro. I really hope he doesn't come in close to 200, because that's going to show me that I just don't think he's going to have the stamina, man, in the later rounds. I don't think he's going to have the volume.
Who's not going to have the volume?
But Benavidez.
So let me just get this straight, because now I got to press you here a little bit. You're picking Zurdo to win.
Yeah, I think weight divisions for a reason, bro. I'm picking Zurdo. And
okay,
I don't hate Benavidez, man. I don't hate the guy.
I got you. But just to put to Frank's point then, let's say he beats him by decision, but he can't stop him and he doesn't really put that much of a beating. He just slaps him around. Does he make it on your top 10 pound for pound?
If he wins convincingly, bro. If he boxes his ears off like Bivol did to him, yes. Yes, he does.
But see, but right there, I mean, you're not talking about specifically how Bivol did it. You're just saying, well, if he wins a 10-2 decision or something like that, right? 11-1, 10-2, 9-3,
8-4, whatever.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
But if it's a close fight, man, if he's losing rounds in there and he's getting a bit slapped up by the big slick southpaw, the big Mexican slick southpaw, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, man. But the guy wins. At the end of the day, you got to win, and you win. You get the win. You gotta get the credit for that. Look, I hate Shakur.
Yeah, but does Devin Haney go on your pound for pound list for dropping Brian Norman and then just backing off the gas the rest of the fight?
No.
Well, there you go. We got to keep the same energy.
But I didn't go in there to that saying that he was good.
No, a lot of people thought Haney was going to get knocked out, bro. A lot of people thought he was going to get knocked out.
But that's what I'm saying. I predicted Haney would win. I thought
I had Haney. I knew Bill Haney said something.
Oh, I'm just saying it's a fine line between what we give credit and where credit is due. And yeah, I don't like certain fighters. I give Haney his credit. I give Shakur's credit. And what I'm saying to you, Carl, I think that's what I'm saying. Like it seems like you don't want to give him credit unless he does X. And it's like, no, if he wins, you got to give him the credit.
Nah, he's got to look impressive. He's got to look impressive.
But I understand.
I want to be impressed. I want to be impressed by a guy that's got a title called the Monster, the Mexican Monster. I want to see the Monster.
But I understand Frank's point, because it's like, Benavidez is taking a risk. So regardless, as long as he wins, it seems like the benchmark is that. Just as long as you beat a guy that's a big challenge for you because of the size, then he should get some credit because of that.
Is that it?
That's what I gather from what Frank is saying.
Just because he's taken the fight, like.
No. If he wins, I'm saying.
Let's not forget that when Benavidez fought Yard, when Max Kuckerman jammed a fucking microphone in his mouth, the first words that came out of fucking Benavidez's mouth before Max could say anything, he announced the Zurdo fight. And fucking Beterbiev was sitting in the crowd there going, "Hey, I'm here, motherfucker." He said he was going up to cruiserweight. Then he's going back down. I mean, I don't know, man. That's he's just got to look impressive. But if he's impressive, mate, I'll eat my hat. If he looks impressive against Zurdo and schools him, hey, all fair play.
But that's the impressive part, Carl, is he wins. You think Zurdo's going to beat him, which I think is 50-50. I'm not as confident as you. But if he wins and he beats the guy, then you got to give him that props. No matter if it's 6-5-1, if it's a split draw, or what is a split decision? Even if it's a split decision, you got to give him his credit. And you're not going to give him his credit, which is fair. That's why we do this. I respect it.
Yeah, I got a line in the sand, man.
I know because you're an Opataya homer. That's why I'm just saying.
I just know that my guy doesn't even have a title. His name's just Jai Opataya. And in 2025, the 3 dudes he fought, they all went to fucking hospital. One of them had a broken.
Yeah, I don't think that fight's gonna happen.
One of them was concussed and didn't know where the fuck he was for a week and a half.
Yeah, that fight's not gonna happen.
I just want to see the monster, man.
They should. The monster's gonna come out. Look, I
want to see it.
I think the monster.
I will eat my hat. Hey, Frankie, I will be the first cunt on your panel.
Yeah.
When Benavidez schools the fucking pants off Zurdo, I will be the first one on your panel eating my throat.
You don't have to do that. No. It's just look, man. It's what I'm saying is what I see is a lot of David Benavidez hate, and I just think he's taking on a tough challenge. He's fighting the best guy that he could fight, and
wow.
He is, man. No, he is. Like he is.
What, you don't think he's got work to do at 75?
No, I'm saying as far as right now. Look, it's Cinco de Mayo. It's 2 Mexican fighters. He's trying to take over for Canelo. Forget the Canelo Alvarez. What happened between him and Canelo? This is the guy's doing what he's supposed to do. That's what. Look, whatever you feel about David Benavidez, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
I'll be honest. I think Mirage has rubbed me up the wrong way with this cunt.
I haven't even heard that fucker. You would think, see, that's what I'm talking about. These fans is they know when it's a dangerous fight because you would think
they go quiet.
Yeah. I'm noticing that Jerron Ennis fans and these extreme Benavidez fans, like you would be on here because that's what I'm trying to tell you. If he beats Zurdo, it's a hell of a win. Why wouldn't you, if you're a super Benavidez fan, you'd be out champion to the hills? But unless you think, oh shit, man, it could be over for him.
I just think he's got to look impressive, bro. That's all I want. I just want the guy to shine.
But that's what I'm asking you, Carl. The win is impressive. I'm trying to get you to that. You gotta say a win is impressive, and you're kind of hedging your bet.
Yeah, but like, how is the win, bro? Like, what if he edges
the win? He's gonna you win.
If he edges a decision,
huh?
If he edges a decision, just drop the monster. I will never call him the monster. He cannot be called a monster.
Okay, yeah, no, but you got to give him his credit for getting the win.
Yep.
Okay.
But what if I say it was a robbery?
Then you lose your bet, so you lose all around. No, I mean, look, you're going with Zurdo, you're going to look like a genius, and you put money on it.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't you? What, mate? What's better than an underdog story in boxing, bro? Like, let's be honest. Everyone loves an underdog story, bro. Frankie, you'll fucking love it if Zurdo wins, bro.
Not really. I think Benavidez a win for boxing is Benavidez winning.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He is, man. Zurdo doesn't have David has the clout right now. He's being poised to take over for Canelo Alvarez. That's why he has his date. So I think a win for American boxing. I know you're in Australia, but for American Mexican boxing, David Benavidez is the crown jewel. You guys can disagree. You can tell me I'm full of shit, but
hey man, that's your opinion.
Well, no, if you agree with me, it's like, do you think, a win? Because Zurdo Ramirez, a Mexican, he doesn't really have a fan base. A win for him is kind of like, okay. Then he goes and does what? He's not going to fight Joe Pataya.
Nah, he definitely don't want that smoke. But to his defense, no one does. I mean, Opataya is... I know how Triple G fans feel. Because no come on to fight Triple G. No one. Chris Eubank Jr. couldn't find the pen twice. I think Canelo waited for that trilogy way too long. The guy's he's avoided me. I can rattle off a heap of names that would not fight Jai Pataya, man. Guys that even just dropped out of the IBF altogether because they were announced to fight. And look, a guy like Richard Reactful, man, 4 hours before purse bid says, we're going to go another route. Fuck the IBF. Fuck that. All I know is the winner of this fight. The winner of this fight becomes the mandatory for both the WBA and the WBO for Jai Pataya. It's the winner of this fight.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, man. David Benavidez is talking about fighting Dimitri Bivol, which I think is a bigger fight. I'm sorry to tell. I mean, it just David Benavidez has bigger fish to fry, huh?
You don't think Bivol's going to duck him?
That's why that's stupid to go up and fight Benavidez just to move down and fight Bivol. Why wouldn't you just fight Bivol and Beef when they're where you're at? You don't like Carl just said. You don't think that Bivol's going to duck? How you know where he's going to be at? He just had a back surgery. What if he comes back and looks like shit in his next fight? What if his career is on a ticket? What if the time on his career is running out now too?
What if Bivol goes to cruiserweight? You know, because that's what Bivol said. He's talking about going to cruiserweight.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
That's crazy. Bro.
Hey, and another thing, man. Like, let's be honest. I mean, you look at the landscape outside of Beterbiev and Bivol. What the fuck's at light heavyweight?
Exactly. He beats those two guys.
He praised that Opetaia moves to heavyweight. He praised that Opetaia will not stay at cruiserweight.
If he would have beat Beterbiev and Bivol at light heavyweight, he'd be in the Hall of Fame, guaranteed off that.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
I don't understand. I don't understand what he's talking about legacy and whoop-de-woo. Like that was the best decision. That would have been the best decision for him. He could have done that within a year and a half. Say everything goes well, then you move up to cruiserweight. Then you can fight Zurdo. Maybe, as a warm-up, before you can get someone like Opetaia saying that, Opetaia beats Zurdo or whatever.
You know what, bro? Like, Beterbiev is there right now. Beterbiev wants the fight right now with Benavidez. Benavidez don't want to fight Beterbiev right now.
That's crazy, bro.
You guys don't think he wants to fight Beterbiev?
Hell no. Why did he announce that fight?
I don't know, man.
Why didn't he?
Why is he trying to, bro? He didn't even say his fucking name.
Exactly. He didn't, man. Beterbiev was in the crowd. He's going, yep, I want it. And you know what, bro? Defending that fucking email belt against the guy that held that belt that Bivol avoided like the fucking plague for 5 years. Because let's be honest, Bivol ducked the fuck out of Beterbiev for a very long time. Did not want to fight Beterbiev. He made every excuse under the fucking sun not to fight that man. He even had Mauricio Suleiman cap to say that because of the war that Russians can't fight for fucking the WBC belt. Like, what the fuck has a war got to do with boxing?
Well, from what I understand, they were the Bivol and Beterbiev were waiting on each other.
Well,
is there a diaper man in the chat? Is there an adult? Is there someone with depends in the chat?
Yeah.
Is there someone who calls himself Diaper Dandy in the chat? Diaper man. Did you shit yourself, Diaper man? Change your Pampers, Diaper man.
The white TBC beef is real in the streets.
Diaper Dandy.
Anybody's welcome to come up too.
There's another one.
Diaper Dandy.
Benavidez Usyk. I'm surprised Benavidez Senior hasn't come out and said Usyk needs another 4 more years at heavyweight before he's fucking good enough to fight his son.
Well, I don't think that's realistic. I mean, David's just promoting, man. I'm sticking up for David today, okay?
Fuck David.
I'm just gonna stick up for him. I think he's doing what he's supposed to do, Carl. What do you want him to do? That's what I don't get with you guys. What do you want him to do? What do you want the monster to do? Like, is he not doing what he's supposed to do?
Division, not the dude that's already ducked the scary dude in the division.
He's fighting a unified champion. What do you want him to do?
The scariest dude at cruiserweight.
How can you duck going up in weight fighting a unified champion?
If you're a monster, why don't you go up and take that fight?
Okay, so I'm a duck because I go up and fight a unified. I can't get the fight with Bivol. He's taking a tune-up. Bivol's taking a tune-up. So I'm gonna go up and fight a unified champion. That's a duck. That don't make no sense to me.
Yeah, I think that the Benavidez, he has a good dossier. I mean, come on. I mean, okay, you want to say that he was a weight bullet, super middleweight, fine, but Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade, even though he turned out to be what most of us expected him to actually be, hey, at least he beat the crap out of him and exposed him for who he was or who he is. You know what I mean? So that, and then Morel, he was a little bit overrated too, but at least he beat him convincingly. So yeah, like I've said it before, we need more fighters like Benavidez. But I do agree somewhat with what Sobers was saying. It's like, hey man, just stay at 175. Well, what's with this job? Because I don't know. He said Benavidez says he's gonna move back down to 175. I don't know if he can do that.
Right.
Well, I agree. You know, the thing, it sounds like playing the fence. I agree with you guys. I was disappointed when he mentioned Zurdo after that November.
I don't like it.
I didn't like it either. I was like, why wouldn't you fight it? But Bivol is fighting a tune-up. So what is he supposed to do?
Yeah, that is weird. That whole situation is
wild. Try to fight Benavidez.
But even Beterbiev's injured as well, isn't he? He was a miracle that he didn't get injured in 2025 for the rematch.
Let's not forget. Beterbiev was due to be on the same card as Benavidez, right?
Right.
He pulled out with injury. Now, he was in the crowd of that fight when that card played out. He sat in the crowd and he sat there smiling at the end of that fight, like, call me out, motherfucker. Bivol's having surgery. Let's make this fight. Defend your belt against me. That's my belt. And he didn't want to. And this is what I'm saying, man. Like, why didn't you fucking defend your title against the guy that held that fucking title for 5 fucking years and defended it? And defended it brilliantly. Beat that guy. You got work to do, mate, in your own division. Stay the fuck out of cruiserweight if you're going up for one fight, man. I don't know. I'm just, I'm off a tire all day. When you got work to do, man, you got work to do. You know, he's no undisputed. He's never fought a champion at fucking light heavy. Now he's going up to cruiser. Like, do you think honestly that he's taken this fight because Zurdo's an easier fight than Beterbiev? I do. I think
it's perceived as an easier fight, right? Because people kind of spanked on Benavidez and he beat Beterbiev. So they're looking at to say that he's ducking the smoke or whatever to jump up to fight a unified champion. It's not necessarily ducking, but it's like a perceived cherry pick. David Benavidez is going for this fight because he's overly confident that he can beat Zurdo, right? We think that he's overestimating himself and maybe the weight jump, but it's perceived as an easier fight than Bivol or Beterbiev, right? So that's why it's, I don't say it's a dud, but it's not a good look. There's work for you in your weight class. There's no reason for you to jump up and jump down, and it's just not going to work that way. I don't see it working that way. I don't see him ever fighting Beterbiev and Bivol now, unless one of them goes up to cruiserweight after this.
I just don't see, outside of Bivol Beterbiev trilogy, I just don't see Bivol fighting fucking Benavidez, man. I just think he'll duck Benavidez, man. I don't think Bivol will fight him.
But why do you think that's the thing though? Why you think do you think he's dogging him because he's afraid of him?
I don't know, BDO, but why the fuck why did it take so long to fight Beterbiev? Because Turkey threw a shitload of money at him.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I recall happening from both guys. Is I remember Don Chingasos always used to say the same things. Like, people fetishize these Eastern Europeans as they're the epitome of competitors. They don't care about the money. Bullshit. They did care about the money because Bob Arum said, "Look, the reason I can't make the fight is because there's no money for it. Both guys want to get compensated generously for fighting each other, but nobody really wants to watch it. I mean, there's 2 Russians in the U.S. Nobody's gonna watch them. They had to bring in the Saudi money to make that fight happen." And so, but I don't think Bivol fought Canelo. He fought Beterbiev twice. He's the only guy to go the distance against Beterbiev and the only guy to beat him. So I don't think he's afraid of Benavidez.
Yeah, but why did it take so long to fight fucking Beterbiev? Was there a little inkling in the back of his mind going, unless there's big money thrown at me, I'm not fighting that dude?
Well, that's precisely it. There was no money for it. That's what I said. Bob Arum said, right.
So who's to say that Turkey wants the fucking Bivol Benavidez fight? Because without Turkey, man, the fight doesn't happen. Let's be honest.
I don't know, man.
I've got to be honest, man. If you haven't seen the landscape, Turkey's not exactly throwing money left, right, and center anymore. Turkey's concentrating on Zuffa, bro.
I think Bivol would. Something tells me that Bivol sees Benavidez as a less of a risk than Beterbiev and would be willing to fight him for less money. I don't know. Look, we're all speculating at the end of the day, but one thing I do know is I don't think Bivol is scared of the guy, of Benavidez.
I don't think anyone's scared of anyone if the money's right, man. But it's a shame that the money has to be right this day and age. That we've got to talk money. We can't talk about legacy. No one wants legacy, bro. Everyone wants to be paid and paid fucking extremely well. I don't know, man. I fucking take me back to the 90s, man. Put me in the fucking Back to the Future, man, because this era of boxing fucking sucks.
Well, that's not something.
Let's be honest. Without Turkey, bro, we still wouldn't have fucking undisputed at heavyweight, and we still wouldn't have undisputed at light heavyweight. That's just facts.
Yeah, you're right.
Throwing money at these cunts. So
you're right. These guys are. That's one of the things there with the Ali Act. It's like, oh no, the Ali Act, the fighters are gonna get paid less. Well, maybe they should because they're asking for too much money right now.
Of course, Turkey's created a false economy in boxing, bro. Devin Haney's not worth $12 million fucking dollars, people. Devin Haney as a co-main is not worth $12 million fucking dollars. He's just not. Shout out to Bill for being able to negotiate his son a better deal, but that guy's just not a pay-per-view star, man. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, those lights are never going to sell pay-per-views. They will not sell in Australia, I'll tell you right now, because a lot of Aussies think like I do, man. They want excitement. They want blood for their money. They don't want to watch some cunt jab ass and fucking back foot. They don't want to see that. No one in Australia likes that shit. No one.
No one should. No one normal should.
Exactly. Without Turkey's fucking money, man, I just don't think this shit happens. I just hope and pray that Benavidez, if he wins and wins well, man, I hope he sticks around and defends his fucking belts. I just hope that, because I know that they'll throw money at him for an Oppenheimer fight. I know that. Turkey
I don't see it happening, man. It's not going to happen, Carl. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Benavidez Oppenheimer is not going to happen.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it should happen.
So how can you support that guy, man? How can you support
Benavidez?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about supporting. It's about talking what we have in front of us. I mean,
yeah, but who's to say he gets the Bivol fight, bro?
I think it'll happen. I think the stars could align and it happens. But Benavidez is going to get big fights. He's kind of like in that realm where he's going to get big fights. He's got the Cinco de Mayo date. He's that dude right now. Oppenheimer he's not. He's gonna fight Christian Bill and Smith. I think that's who Zuffa signed. So Oppenheimer's in Zuffa land.
They've actually got a pretty good landscape at cruiserweight. They got Ryan Rosicky, the Canadian.
Yeah, then Oppenheimer's gonna fight for the Zuffa belt. He ain't fighting for no undisputed anymore. That's what he said, but he's not.
Okay,
he took the Zuffa belt.
Okay, well, riddle me this, bro. Riddle me this. So the IBF stripped him, right? Because when you're a champion, you can't be ranked in any other sanctioning body. So why is it that when Oppenheimer got stripped, he got ranked number 1 at the WBA, number 1 at the WBO, and number 3 at the WBC? And he's the mandatory for the IBF. Just riddle me that. If they won't play with Zuffa, why have they all got him ranked so high?
I have no idea. But I don't think he's gonna get the Benavidez fight. I'm just telling you. Why would they have him in
the number 1 spot, bro? If he can't get the fights, that just doesn't make sense.
Well, no, I'm saying the winner of this fight, Benavidez and Zurdo, they're not gonna fight that guy Oppenheimer. I'm just saying I think Oppenheimer is gonna be stuck fighting for a Zuffa belt. Who do you think is? Yeah, I'm just telling Carl. There's what we want in the reality. The reality is, Oppenheimer signed what he signed. He signed with Zuffa. He took the Zuffa belt, and that's the belt he's gonna fight for. He said he wanted undisputed. They railroaded him. They stripped him. They railroaded him. He got screwed, but he signed with Zuffa, so that's his fate.
I'm glad he signed with Zuffa, bro, because no faggot. And you know what? I just want to answer Technique in the chat. Technique said Guy Oppenheimer just fought bums. Well, let me tell you, all of those fucking bums were mandatories that the IBF created. So is the IBF shit? Can we say that the IBF is shit? Because every one of those fights that Oppenheimer defended his belt, the 6 times he defended it, they were all mandatories. So is the IBF shit? Is the IBF just as bad as Zuffa? Because they got shit fucking fighters in their division, in their sanctioning body? Can we agree on that?
I'm just telling you, Oppenheimer is going to fight for the Zuffa belt and whoever Zuffa has signed. So he's not going to fight Benavidez. The winner of this fight basically should fight Oppenheimer, but it's not going to happen. And that's just boxing. That's just boxing, man. So Obitaya.
It just shits me that they're all a bunch of fucking faggots.
Nah, I
They
get
are
you,
a
man,
bunch of
but
fucking faggots.
that's what's
This
gonna
day and
happen,
age.
bro. Obitaya.
Yeah, I know.
I
know they won't fight him. I
he
just want
kinda-
Obitaya to go to heavyweight.
Yeah, I
Fuck
know,
it.
but he kind of
They're all
did
a
it
bunch
to
of
himself.
faggots. But
Signing
what else
with
could he
Zuffa.
do, Frankie? What else could he do, bro?
I know that's what sucks,
What
but
what
that's,
could he do? How many
could've-
fucking
I don't know.
unifications? How many unifications did Eddie Hearn get in 3.5 years?
No, I
No.
know. I'm just saying, but what's gonna happen? He's gonna fight for the Zuffa belt. That's what he's signed to.
Well, he's already got that belt. He's already
No,
got
I know,
that belt.
but he's gonna defend it. Like, so he's
Of
not gonna
course he'll
get
defend it.
these other unifications or.
Of course he'll
undisputeds.
defend it because he's not a faggot. He won't run and hide with his belt. He'll fight any cunt. He don't care. He will fight any man
Yeah.
born of his mother. That's just that type of guy. And you know what, man? If you don't rock with guys like that, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Keep living in your mum's basement and stealing her Wi-Fi.
I
'Cause,
fuck with Obitaya. I mean, I think everybody should. He's a hell of a fighter, but it's the boxing landscape, right? The politics, the whole thing of it is you just gotta understand where they're at. Zurdo Ramirez and Benavidez is like the boxing establishment fight, right? Because they're
Well,
they're
Zurdo
with the
don't want
belts.
to fight. Zurdo don't even know who Opataya is, bro.
Yeah, Obitaya should move to heavyweight. Fuck it, he should just go to heavyweight now.
I'm just sick. Yeah, I've been saying this for a while now. I'm just sick of the faggots at cruiserweight, man. It is a fucking proper faggot ducking fucking division. I just know he'll get big fights at heavyweight, bro. I know it for a fact. No, there's nowhere to run to up there. Nowhere. Nowhere to run to, baby.
Well, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen with Obitaya? But as far as Zurdo Ramirez, and they're gonna be the man. If Benavidez beats Zurdo Ramirez, I think he's the man, and then he can dictate who he wants to fight next. I mean, Dimitri Bivol, what does he got going on? He got nothing going on.
So he's got a crazy
So-
ex-wife to deal with.
Oh, he still has to pay for that.
Oh, what a fucking loose unit she is, man. What a
It's
fucking
interesting
bitch.
how as soon as they get away from the husband, all of a sudden she's on Instagram showing her tits. I mean, what's going on
Is
there?
she
man?
showing her tits? I want.
Well, no, I'm exaggerating, but
Oh,
she's
oh.
posing with her shirt open and she's got nothing underneath the
Mm.
jacket, and it's like, what's going on
Oh.
here?
Yeah, but she even wanted Beterbiev to win. She was so happy when he won that first fight.
Yeah. Imagine if she would have shown up like she's recording an Instagram video and she's in the hotel room with Beterbiev.
Oh
Dimitri,
shit!
oh.
You guys go.
Ah, wouldn't you lose your marbles as a fighter?
Well,
bro?
they're all whores, right? BDA.
No, I
what
didn't
you
say
told
that.
me?
I didn't say
They're all
that. No, don't try to paint me as some sort of fucking serial killer. But
Whoa, I didn't say that.
well, that's how it sounded, man. But I'll say this: you guys were talking about the money and how these guys want that's Sufa, Salah, TKO, whatever money.
Mhm.
Did you guys hear that Jarrell Big Baby Miller yesterday after the post-fight interview? He goes, yeah, I want this guy, I want that guy, and I forget who he mentioned. He goes like, now if the Sheik can throw around some money, let's make it happen. So they're all depending on
What?
like Carl said, they all want that Zufa money, that TKO, that Riyadh money.
They're all like strippers, man, and Turkey's the dude with all the racks, and they're all on a stripper pole. They are, bro. That's what these fighters look like. They do. Like they're on a stripper that dancing for dollars, bro.
That's a hell of a picture right there.
But I've been hearing all the rumors that they're drying up, that the money's drying up, and there's so many rumors about Turkey Al Sheikh, right? But
Mhm.
did anybody think that he was BDA? You were talking about it on your show the other night. Go like and subscribe to BDA.
Thank
How
you.
about that?
Yeah, how about
Carl? I think Carl has a channel. Everybody. never
Ah,
so
fuck
is.
my channel. Don't subscribe to me.
Don't
get-
say that, Carl. You're part of the crew.
I don't
Um,
give a fuck. I don't care for subscribers. They can all.
Well, you
go
got a
and
strong
subscribe.
opinion, so I respect it.
Yeah, but you know what? I stay in my lane, bro.
There
I
you
don't
go.
deviate. I like exciting more. And man, I'm not a Benavidez hater. I'm just pissed off that he's got work to do in his division and he's pussyfooting around in another division that he has no plans on sticking around, bro.
Well, that was what I'm saying. The money's got to be there. This is the bigger Opataya fight. Really don't garner that much attention or money. I know it sucks, man, when somebody says that, but that's Opataya has work to do, man. He's not really a name.
What, you don't think Bradis? Do you know who Marius Bradis was, bro?
No, I know, but when it comes to making these fights and where the money's at, because we were talking about Turkey Al-Sheikh and him throwing the money around.
I'll tell you something, bro.
Go ahead.
A 36-year-old Bradis that fought Opataya is better than anybody fucking Benavidez has on his resume.
But nobody knows who he
Way
is.
better.
Nobody knows
Yeah,
who
because
the guy
no
is.
one really knows boxing, do they? I do.
Well, no, I know,
I know
but we
that
gotta talk
division.
about how they make the fights. They make the fights with who can get the pay-per-views and who can get bring the eyeballs and
Well,
the truth
you know
is
what?
Zurdo.
I'm so glad Opataya signed with Zuffa, bro, because in my opinion, Opataya had zero airplay at Matchroom. No cunt knew who he was. He's this big unknown, fighting bums, whatever you want to say. Now he's gone to Zuffa, and all people can do is criticize the guy and say, he signed with Zuffa. He's not going to get any fights.
Yeah, but because Zuffa's not a real belt, Carl. It's not a real belt.
Of course, I'm not saying it is a real belt. It's definitely not a real belt. But you know what? The WBO,
that's who you signed with.
Do you know how long the WBO
signed with them, and it's not a real belt, and he's parading it.
Do you know how long the WBO was an unrecognized sanctioning body before they actually became a sanctioning body? Do you know? 20 fucking years until the WBO was a recognized sanctioning body, bro. So it takes time, man. It takes time. It takes time, I'm telling you. It won't happen overnight, man. At least I'm a realist. I support my guy, but I'm a realist.
Then he's going to be fighting in front of 500 people, Carl.
No, well, that's where you're wrong, because they're going to bring a fight to Australia, and they're going to...
Are they? Okay.
Fucking oath they are. Mark my fucking words, man. You know what? One thing I know about Zuffa, bro, if they're anything like the UFC, bro, and they come to Australia, they'll get 60,000 in a fucking stadium, bro. They will definitely do that. I think it's good for boxing, man. More fights, more cards. Fucking bring it on, bro. I'm all for it. I don't give a fuck. And the thing that makes me laugh is people go, but they're not going to pay the fighters right. I don't give a fuck if these cunts fight for a can of Coke and a Mars bar. Just fight!
You gotta appreciate the passion.
Carl's punching his Benavidez bag right now.
You know, like, I'm just punching the realist bag, bro. Like, you know, like I'm going to go back to Billum Smith, right? Chris Billum Smith was offered a unification fight with Opataya before he fought Zurdo. There was $1 million purse, right? Eddie Hearn won the purse bid. There was $1 million purse. He said 500 grand. It was 50-50. Chris Billum Smith said that's not enough. Chris Billum Smith had never earned $500,000 in his life. Jai Opataya said, fuck it, give him the lot. Let him have the $1 million. He wanted him to have the whole purse. And he fucking still wouldn't fight him. That was life-changing money for Billum Smith, bro. He still didn't want the fight. Jai said, I don't want any of the purse. Give him 100% of the purse. I want his belt. That's the guy that people should rock with, man. I'm sorry, but, you know, people just got to fucking keep it 100 when it comes to these fighters, man. They're just fighting. They're just... I equate it to fucking a Tina Turner song. I'm your private dancer, dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. They're like whores, bro. These fighters are whores. They're money-hungry whores. Oh, the money's got to be right. Oh, fuck off. How much are you getting paid, you fucking fanatical fuckwit fan? Fucking cocksucker. Fucking now you're
It's interesting. We didn't really hear that in the 80s and 90s. Not to try to paint a picture that everything was perfect in the 80s and the 90s, but we certainly didn't hear it as much as we do now. The money's got to be right. Well, I'm the A side. I'm the landlord. I mean, come on, just fucking, I mean, you depend on, see, that's the thing. Everyone's so worried about the fighters. What about us? Some people could say, well, don't you worry about the fighters? And I would reply by saying, as much as they worry about us, do they worry about our bills and about how much we're spending on these pay-per-views and all that and so forth? I mean, because if not, then why should I be worried about how much they make? They chose to be boxers. Nobody put a gun to their heads and convinced them to do it. So spare me the whole thing about, oh, woe is me with the fighters, poor fighters, the modern-day gladiators. They're getting overpaid as it is right now. They can draw flies. Some of them, most of them can draw flies, can draw ratings, but they want to be multimillionaires.
Yeah, but like, is Benavidez Zurdo going to sell, man, at $90 American?
Apparently it's not, man. Yeah, apparently it's not selling well. That's what they're saying. And some people are saying, oh, how do you know? How do you know? Well, show me the evidence that it is selling well. And they're going to point to on Fight Night, because that's what Mr. Pull Up on Twitter said. They papered the crowd for all of most of Benavidez's events in Las Vegas. So they're going to do the same thing. It's going to look half decent when it comes to the audience with the cameras when they pan and they got the fucking whole upper section sealed off, and they got the smoke machine and the lights turn real low. Sorry to go back to the whole striptease thing, but that's where Carl took us. It's like the strip club. You lower the lights, put on the black light, so you don't see the pimples on the girls and all that. It gives you this
play
allure.
Play the Tina Turner music, bro.
Exactly. And some people are gonna say, you see, what they did so well, but nah, it's smokes and mirrors.
100%, man. I just get fucking sick of these cunts that defend these faggots for not fighting. Oh, the money's got to be right. Well, how much are you getting paid, cocksucker? Are they paying your light bill at home? Like, are they renovating your house? Are you getting a new bathroom? Like, what the fuck are you getting out of this? Because I'm not getting nothing, mate. I'm not getting nothing out of any of these cunts. I just want them to fight, man. Am I asking too much?
I gotta renovate my bidet. They're not gonna help me with that.
That was a bidet.
That's right. You know what a bidet is?
Is that like a flower bed, or like you got a flower bed?
It's a toilet that washes your ass. You don't need to.
Oh,
It's for flowering your bed, yeah.
I'm uncultured,
so to speak.
I'm uncultured on this side of the states. You got to be bougie. That's some bougie shit.
It's French.
Yeah, that's where bougie comes from, right?
That's
Bourgeoisie.
Right. Bourgeoisie. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, see, you're bougie, BDA.
Maybe.
Bougie things.
Maybe a little bit. You
got to slum it.
Hey, Frank, while you got Nick Khan up there, did you listen to the Senate that hearing with Oscar De La Hoya?
No, I really didn't. Did anybody?
Oh, bro.
I mean, I tried, but it's just like,
Frank,
I don't know.
Like the palaver that was coming out of that guy's fucking mouth was just hilarious. But you know what? To his defense, no one in that Senate hearing would know what type of things are going on at Golden Boy at the moment. With, like he says that he's there for the fighters, and Zuffa and these guys aren't going to be there for the fighters. They're not going to pay them right. Well, why the fuck is your number 2 fighter, Virgil Ortiz, not willing to fight for your promotional company? Why did your number 2 fighter want out? Why did Ryan Garcia want out? Why did Ryan Garcia pick up a song and dance and want to live a Golden Boy?
Carl, it's one.
Hello?
Is it
fighter? So you could forgive the lawyer.
You're breaking up, BDA.
Am I dropping out? What?
Canadian? Yeah, your Canadian Wi-Fi.
How about now? Am I still?
Yeah, you're good now.
Am I still?
Good now.
Yeah. So like Carl is saying, if it was one fighter, okay, I could understand. Ryan Garcia is a bit of an asshole, but Virgil Ortiz is having problems. Canelo had problems, like Carl said. Apparently, Floyd Schofield's got problems.
Yep.
Who else was there? There were other people. I'm scratching my head here, but I know there's been other people. And so when you look at De La Hoya and you're thinking, well, Marquez used to say that when he fought Mayweather, and Mayweather wanted to blow the weight, and De La Hoya came to him, he's like, hey, listen, is it okay if you fight, instead of 144, you let him weigh in 147? And Marquez is like, no, man, what the fuck? Okay. They were trying to convince him to take the fight, and finally they said, okay, he'll pay you extra money, and then, so you can take the fight at 147 instead of 144. But Marquez said it came through. He said, I got the impression that De La Hoya was working for Mayweather and not for me, and I was officially his fighter. So what the fuck? So yeah, De La Hoya, I mean, maybe they should have brought all of that up in the hearings. Like, hey, you say you're against this redaction of the Ali Act, or this addition to this new clause or whatever, but you've been living under the Ali Act for decades now, and you get all these problems with something like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. Like, people forget it's a double-edged sword, right? So yeah, a promoter can become a sanctioning body, but the guys like the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, the WBA, they can all become promoters, right? It works both ways, So these guys can start signing their own fighters and making the money and being the mouthpiece for their fighters, bro. It's not just all Zuffa, man. But the thing Zuffa has, bro, is they've got the backing. They've got the money. I mean, they've got the best deal in boxing right now. They have $500 million for 5 years on Paramount Plus, man. Tell me another company that has that. Hey, is PBC joining DAZN? I heard a rumor PBC might be joining with DAZN.
I think that was fake news. People just post anything nowadays.
Yeah, right. Because, man, I'll tell you, if that happens, bro, that is a good move. That is a good move.
But you guys, it was on the BDA show. You guys you kind of you were going over the Ali Act, right? This whole thing. A lot of people are doing shows and podcasts about it, but what's the crux of it? What does it really amount to? Because I mean, look, does the average boxing fan care about it?
I don't think so. I don't think people. Again, look, the whole concept of the Ali Act was to protect fighters, but you can only do so much with legislation unless you're updating it constantly. And they didn't do that with the Ali Act. It was just there. People found a way. The snakes found a way to circumvent it and work around it. Nobody batted an eyelash. I certainly didn't. I'm like, well, business as usual. Now all of a sudden somebody comes along. They want to do a little redaction to it. Everybody starts losing their shit. And look, it's at the end of the day, it's not rocket science. De La Hoya, Matchroom, all these people, they're against the whole concept because it's Zuffa making it happen. It's the competition. Okay. If it was somebody else, I don't think they'd have that much of a problem with it. And again, I'm just speculating, but it's Zuffa. Zuffa's coming along, and it doesn't look like this is going to be another Jay-Z or another Sugar Ray Leonard type of thing where they just waste a bunch of money and then disappear for a couple. It seems like these dudes are planning to stay here for the long term. They seem to be although I don't like the fact that they're doing that business as usual thing by overpaying certain fighters. But nevertheless, they're trying something new. And like Carl was saying, look, I'm a boxing fan. So if you're giving me more fights, I'm all with it. I know people are going to say, well, didn't you dislike the PBC? I only disliked the PBC once it became apparent that they didn't know what they were doing. Once it became apparent that they weren't giving us exactly what we wanted, how we wanted it, then I'm thinking, well, as a consumer, why can't I complain about it? So the same thing with Zuffa. If Zuffa starts showing us or giving us things that are worth criticizing, then yeah, by all means. But I'm giving them a chance now, just like I gave the PBC a chance 11 years ago.
So you're giving them a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
Okay, so here's what I'm trying to figure out is, but it's actually rhetorical, right?
Oh.
People are acting like.
Can you spell rhetorical?
Huh?
Can you spell rhetorical?
No, I really can't. I need my
wow, can we not use big words that no one knows how to spell?
It's not a big word. It's not a big word. It means, what does it mean? It means you're asking a question, but really you have the answer, something like that. No. So the Ali Act brought by Zuffa, this happened like last year, right? Do you guys know?
You're asking the what now?
The Ali Act. This started coming into play like last year when Zuffa.
The Ali Act's been around for years, man.
No, decades. I mean that this revive. What do they call it? The revival?
Redaction, whatever. Yeah.
I thought it's the Ali Revival Act. What is it? The revival or redact?
All it is they're just amending. The only thing that they're amending is they want to be able. Promoters sanctioning body wants to be able to promote their own fighters. That's all it is. There's no other. They're not getting rid of it.
Right.
They're not killing it. They're not wiping it out. And let's be honest, man. Like, has the Ali Act actually worked up until now? Has the Ali Act fucking done anything? Because outside of America, the Ali Act means fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It means nothing for anyone out that lives outside of America. The Ali Act does not fucking. You don't have to comply by any Ali.
Yeah, that's why some people on Twitter were giving examples of how many times the Ali Act. Some people try to invoke it. No, sorry, no worky outside USA. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's relegated to the. See, I don't know. I'm ignorant of a lot of these things. So it's just regulated to the U.S. It's just to protect the promoters and the fighters.
What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to keep fucking promoters and managers out from robbing fighters of money.
Okay.
Well, and it's more for transparency, right? So it's more for transparency so people aren't cooking the books. Like Steven Espinosa and Floyd Mayweather wouldn't be going through this shit they're going through right now if the rat weasel wasn't robbing Floyd of $330 million. Like that's what the Ali Act is supposed to prevent. It's supposed to provide transparency for fighters so that no one's cooking the books and they're getting paid accordingly, their back end money.
Yeah, but what we're saying is, or you guys are saying that the detractors it hasn't worked anyway. So they created this act and it hasn't really protected anybody. It's actually fighters are still being exploited, right? Because that's who it really is for, right? The fighters.
That's right.
Well, 100%.
Okay, so that's where I'm going somewhere with this. Is that So the Ali Act is supposed to now protect fighters more.
Well, that's what it was supposed to do originally, bro.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, so when someone comes in talking about reform, you're thinking is to.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say reform. It's an amendment. So they're trying to amend the act. They don't want to reform.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Again, amend it to protect the fighters more because to help them.
Well, I think it would, man. Yeah, I think it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So does that make sense?
Well, I mean, it's not helping them right now, bro. The Ali Act isn't doing a thing. I mean, people who don't.
I don't know. Maybe I'm losing people. Am I losing people? The BDA. Do you understand where I'm going with this?
Well, you're asking a lot of questions, and you said rhetorical questions. So I assume there's a point. But are you trying to say that it was always useless, or what are you trying to say?
What I'm saying is the Ali Act is to protect fighters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's ultimately, at the end of the day, what it's supposed to do, and it hasn't. It hasn't protected fighters. It's been exploited, right?
Right.
So it needs reform or amendment, as Carl said, the correct word. So is that amendment to protect fighters more?
No, well, from what I understand, Carl just said that it would allow these organizations to create what they call a UBO. So as an alternative to the WBC, WBA, IBF, hence the Zuffa belt.
Yes, I'm not the smartest guy, okay, but
that's all right.
Just help me. But that's what I'm saying.
What it's about, Frankie, is Zuffa's trying to get recognized. They want to be recognized.
I get that. What I'm trying to do is poke holes in this that is to help the fighters.
Well, see that's the thing though, Frank, because you're 2 steps ahead of us, so you gotta work with us here. No, I'm not, because you already see you got a point, but you're trying to walk us through it with the questions. So it's supposed to be there to help. It was always there supposedly to help the fighters. For example, the big one that I remember was that you can have the manager and the promoter being the same person.
Yeah,
then there's a couple of events.
Yeah,
right. That's one of them. All that Zuffa TKO wants to do is they want to be able to be certified as a UBO, an actual sanctioning body type thing, as an alternative to that.
And there you go, B-Day. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to question if it's altruistic, because when we hear about amendments we want to help the fighter, we want to bring amendment. It's like, wait a minute, a business entity is coming in to help the fighters.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, that's exactly it though. So that's why people are justified in being skeptical of Zuffa TKO and whether they're actually going to make things better or they're going to make things worse. But then that's the thing though, make things worse for whom?
But who cares? Because, like, realistically, who gives a fuck? Like, I mean, if unless these fighters are your brothers, your cousins, your father-in-laws, like, why do you give a fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What do you just put your head in the sand like a fucking ostrich and go, I'm not playing game with Zuffa?
Yeah, that's what
it just doesn't make sense. I don't know why people would be mad at us getting more fights. I tell you what I'm mad at. We don't necessarily need another fucking belt. I think there's way too many belts in boxing right now. I don't think we need another belt. And the Zuffa belt, you're right, Frankie. It's nothing. It's a piece of shit. It means nothing for now. But, I mean, the WBO was nothing for 20 years as well, until it was something. So, you know, these things take time, man. And it's something that it's just got to grow on the sport, man. People just have to accept it. And you know what? There's going to be pushback, man, like there always is.
Yeah,
people don't like
that. My whole long drawn out thing was just that I just don't buy when people say they're coming to save something or they're bringing an amendment because they want to protect the fighters. To me, it just seems like another corporate entity that is finding a way to exploit.
You don't think it's broken right now, bro? You don't think the sport's broken?
But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that there's a savior that can save it.
I'm not saying Turkey's a savior or Zuffa's a savior, man, but I just think, I think the sport is broken, man. Outside of boxing, I do not know another sport where the fighter pays all the bills, man, out of his purse. He pays everything.
But you guys are arguing two different things because all Frank is saying is that Zuffa TKO is not coming in with the intentions of making life better for everybody. That's, you know, they're a business, and that's what they're gonna want to make money off of this. But that's the other thing though, is to me I'm thinking, well, they want to. If let's say they don't want to make things better, or maybe they say they want to make things better. Well, I'm going to ask the question: is for whom do they want things made better? Because right now things are better for certain fighters, and that's precisely the point here. Is certain fighters have made a lot of money by not even generating that much of an audience. Like Shakur Stevenson, I remember the Rick Glazier, the aforementioned Rick Glazier said, well, he does good ratings over at ESPN. Yeah, but in terms of the gate, how much is he doing? And how long are these, how big are these ratings? Like that they justify him? Because remember, they offered him a 5-fight deal, right? That was the thing with Tom Brady, 5 fights, $3 million per fight. He said, no, I'm much more, I know my worth. I'm much more than worth, I'm worth much more than that. That's what he said, right? Look at him now. He's sidelined. Can't get a fight. Why, if he's such a big star, why can't he just show up against anybody and boom? You think Canelo has that problem? Like, I don't know who to fight. He's going to make money.
Haney, man. Look at Devin Haney. Look at Devin Haney.
Exactly. So just real quick. So that's what Zuffa TKO would offer. They would offer consistent pay to the fighters who don't have those opportunities. The ones that don't have the machine, as we were talking about earlier, backing them up and lathering their asses and lubing their cocks the way they do to certain fighters when, just this guy's the best, pound for pound, generational, put him on TV. There's, for every one guy like Haney and Shakur Stevenson, there's hundreds of other pugs out there who actually put on entertaining shows, but there's no TV dates for them. So Zuffa TKO comes in. That's one of the things that they want to do with this redaction is that they want to pay some of these guys a little bit better. And it is interesting that we see people ask on the whatchamacallit, the Twitter, why aren't more fighters standing up for this? I don't know. Maybe they don't have a problem with the way Zuffa TKO plans to make deals or fights.
Because I'll tell you where Zuffa will shine. Guys that aren't household names, guys that are prospects, that are fringe contenders, these guys are going to fight 3, 4, 5 times a year under Zuffa. And they might get a knockout. They might get a fight of the night and win 50 grand. They might get that extra kick in the first, bro. Where they wouldn't, they'd be fighting for $5,000 or $10,000, bro, under a top-ranked card or on a PBC prelim card. But these guys are going to be fighting 4 or 5 times on Zuffa a year because, man, Zuffa's been given 40 time slots with Paramount Plus. So,
that's business though. But here's what I look. I don't like the idea of a boxing league. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like the idea of one sole entity being the promoter and the ranking system, because that's also me.
I don't either, because
to imagine what it's gonna be. I mean, look, let me just finish this point. They already wear uniforms. I don't like that. I think that's awful. Like, why are they taking the sponsorship and their identity away and making them wear uniforms?
Well, I'm not a fashion designer. I don't paint my fingernails. I don't wear purses. I don't do any of that shit. So for me, I like Mike Tyson in black trunks with a towel ripped and hung over his head. To me, that's scary. I don't think having sponsors on your shorts mean fuck all at the end of the day. I think that's a fucking faggot show. I don't give 2 fucks for it. But you know what I like, man? I like the idea of guys having an option. Like Nick Khan said, they aren't the be-all to end-all. They just want to give fighters an option, bro. That's what they want to do. They want to be able to give them an option. And they'll never take over the sport. Man, let's be honest. Boxing's been around for 100 and fucking something years. Like Canelo said, they're not going to take over the sport. They're not going to make it like the NBA or the fucking NFL. It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to become a league. But they're just going to give fighters that option, bro. And you know where it is going to work? It's going to, like I said, man, it's going to work for prospects, fringe contenders. Guys that are borderline knocking on the door at top 10. That's where it's going to work, man, I tell you. And they're going to have marquee fighters. They're going to have the likes of Opetayers. And that you watch, man. They're going to have some heavyweights. And they're going to make a bit of noise, man. I'm all for it, man. They got the backing. They got the money. I think watch this space, man. Give it a year or two and watch what happens with Zuffa. I'm telling you now, man, we're going to look back on this and everyone's going to go, you know what? That old bearded Aussie was fucking right. He was right.
Now, as it pertains to the trunks, there is something to the effect of, you get these guys their own character, right? They got their custom trunks and all that. But at the end of the day, just to harken back to what Carl said about boxing being around for hundreds of years, for years, there wasn't such a thing as custom trunks. It was one guy wore the white ones, the other guy wore the black ones. And that was especially after when TV started coming around. It was black and white, so I assume it also had something to do with, hey, listen, they can't both be wearing light trunks, because then the viewer confuses it. So black and white, that's it. And for a long time, boxing was the number one sport in America, because when it's done correctly, it's one of the most satisfying and most aesthetically pleasing sports out there. But everything that's been going on now, hidden away on premium cable, certain fighters being given benefits, certain styles taking precedence over others, rules not being respected. That's all been ruining the sport. Am I coming in clear now?
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you.
Might have been me.
So essentially boxing was famous before, not because boxing didn't go into the garbage can because people found it boring. People forgot about it because it was on premium cable. But if it's done correctly, it can be one of the best sports out there. Maybe it won't beat football anymore or whatever.
Right.
You know what, BDA? I just want to come back to the pay-per-view model. The pay-per-view model is broken. It's fucking gone. They've got to be on streaming platforms, and you've got to be on these subscription based. Every fight's not pay-per-view worthy, bro. A mega fight, a Canelo Crawford fight, yeah, that's a mega fight. That should be $100. I'm happy to pay for a mega fight as a pay-per-view. But what I'm not happy to get, man, is get this shit jammed in my face week in, week out, where I've got to cough up my fucking hard-earned to pay for a fight. There's one there's one good fight on, bro.
That's right.
Like the pay-per-view model is dead and buried, bro. It's dead. It is there's no one to blame but boxing for that, bro. Boxing did it to himself. They forced the fan to, and this is why you've got this piracy now. You've got, like, this illegal streaming, bro. There's no way around it, bro. Like, and boxing's got no one to blame but themselves for that, man. No one to blame but themselves. They did it to themselves, man. Now they've got to get a network. They've got to get on a streaming network like a Netflix or Paramount Plus or even DAZN, man. And I'm filthy at DAZN, man, because DAZN brought out that model. And if anyone remembers when DAZN first come out, what was their slogan? No pay-per-views. You will not pay for pay-per-views with DAZN. And what did they do when fucking Canelo fought Bivol? They brought out a thing called DAZN Gold. I'm like, fuck, man. I cancelled my subscription. I'm like, jam it up your ass. The one thing you said you'd never do, you went and did.
Was that the first pay-per-view they did with Canelo?
Yep. That was their first pay-per-view, was Canelo and fucking Bivol.
Wow.
And it's they've got no one to blame but themselves. But every fight's not pay-per-view.
Yeah, everything's pay-per-view now. I mean, look at Usyk versus Rico. I mean, what type of? First of all, if you're a casual fan and they've heard maybe of Usyk, who are the crazy Ukrainian? Who's he fighting? He's fighting Rico. Immediately, if I'm a casual fan, I go, fuck this. Why am I gonna spend money on this? How is that a pay-per-view? I don't get it. And look, I'm an Usyk fan, but I'm okay with him taking this little gimmick fight if he takes another fight this year and against an actual fucking contender. But don't try to fucking patronize us. They're trying to sell this as the number one heavyweight boxer against the number one heavyweight kickboxer. I don't give a shit if this guy's the number one taekwondo, kung fu, Wing Chun guy. Don't try to sell. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
But you know what? It doesn't matter what you and I think, BDA, because we're diehards, bro. What it matters is that they're going to sell this to the casual, bro. That's the whole.
You think so? You think that's going to work with the casuals?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. But I'm just saying that's the whole idea of this is because let's be honest, man. Outside of if you can't sell to the casuals, bro, you're not making money because the diehards aren't going to pay for that shit. Guys that are watching this shit week in, week out, I'm not paying for that garbage. Mm-hmm. No man in his right mind, born of his fucking mother, would pay for that. So they rely on the casuals, bro. And I mean, we know, like, outside of Canelo, got people without big names, bro. I mean, even Ryan Garcia's a fucking big seller, bro. I'm not a fan of Ryan Garcia, but the guy sells. He can sell.
Yeah, and these are the guys that should be. That's the other thing, real quickly, I wanted to say about the pay-per-views, not to harp too much on it, but I think we've said it before, but it bears repeating. Stop putting boring people on the main events. I know that they're the least hitting boxing, percentage-wise, blah, 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 generational talents. Okay, if they're boring, they're boring. I'm sorry. Don't stop trying to shove them down our throats. They don't sell. Don't stop trying to make him into a star. Stop trying to turn him into the next Floyd Mayweather. It ain't gonna work. You'd save yourself a lot of time, a lot of trouble, a lot of hassle if you actually just put on the good guys in boxing, that the entertaining ones. I mean, not for nothing, but Turkey Al-Sheikh actually they did the smart thing. Hamza Shiraz versus what's his name, Berlanga, main event. Shakur Stevenson, undercard. Benavidez versus Jordi, main event, undercard. Devin Haney. Don't try to shove these guys under. Now, if it's Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson, okay, maybe, and even then you could make an argument. Now, if there's somebody better, put him on the main event better over those guys.
100%.
Is Frank still here? Frank, or am I cutting off?
What happened?
No, because I don't know. Were you silent or was I cutting off?
No, I was silent. Sorry.
Okay, well that's what I was saying. I was saying what happened was Frank gay. Because we've been on for 3 hours. I don't know if we're losing steam here because we've been on for 4 hours.
I'm losing steam here.
Oh.
Sorry. You guys are cooking, man.
You sound like Benavidez, bro. Benavidez in them championship rounds.
Come on, man. It's gonna be almost 4 hours, dude. That's
These
crazy.
are the championship rounds, bro.
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Frank's itching to get back to the pleasure palace.
I'm gonna get
I don't know. I gotta address Bones. Bones, what happened to Bones? He said you kicked him from his chat. I don't know, he's going crazy on here.
Which chat? From this chat? I don't have a wrench.
No, your Discord. Bones is going nuts. He's saying you kicked him and this and that.
Tell him not to take it seriously.
I don't know. I don't boot anybody. I don't kick anybody. I don't think you do.
I try not to. I mean, if you're talking boxing, I mean, there's only a couple of ways you could get banned from it. If you're just spamming, if you're trying to continuously bait people into stupid subjects, stupid discussions, or if you just start, spamming also falls into the whole, putting a bunch of pictures and all that, like disgusting pictures.
Do that. I don't know. He just sounds like he's being a hater today.
But yeah, man, I think we covered a lot of stuff here, and we still got a lot to cover because we got 2 big fights coming up on Saturday. So yeah.
Yeah. The Nakatani, Inoue, Resendiz, Munguia. It's gonna be a busy. Well, this, like I said, it's a Super Bowl of boxing, right? Like this is boxing's biggest week. Sans no Canelo Alvarez. You got to work much harder. With Canelo, it's a given. It brings probably highest numbers, clicks, views.
The mamacitas come out.
He guaranteed ticket sales, but it's gonna be a little harder with David Benavidez. He's trying to make his mark with this. This is his first Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yeah, I think it is, man. I think it is. But he's got the style for it. So it's like real quick. That's what I was saying. When it was a Shakur Stevenson Teofimo Lopez fight, you're watching the undercard here in Canada. It's 10 p.m. before the main event. You still got 1 fight left, and you're thinking, oh boy, what am I looking forward to here? The main event. Well, best case scenario, maybe a good, entertaining tactical fight at best, right? And then it turns out no, it sucks. But with Benavidez, worst case scenario, it's not as entertaining, but it's both guys are gonna let their hands go at least. So that's what we want in our main events.
There you go. They're doing their best with 2 Mexicans. For Cinco de Mayo, trying to sell it. They're like in Jaguar gear. It's kind of corny to me, but maybe that's what people like.
Well, they're trying to get that demographic because they're starting to realize that they're the ones that usually buy pay-per-views.
The Mexican Latino fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but it's Cinco de Mayo. Floyd Mayweather used to have those days. I think one day they'll try to put Devin Haney or Shakur Twitterson on those days, but I mean, they're trying with Benavidez. It doesn't look like it's gonna work. I mean, from what we're seeing,
if he puts on a good performance, that's what you building blocks. He puts on a good performance, and people start hearing about this dude that moved up 25 pounds or whatever, and put on a show. Believe me, it can't get worse, or it can't be that bad.
Yeah,
not that it's bad now, but what I'm saying, yeah.
Well, he's getting a lot of hate. In the show there was a lot of hate for Benavidez, but really, I'm trying to pump him up because I think he's good for boxing. And Carl was saying he needs to impress. I do think he does. But you talk boxing, but that's your thing, right? Boxing. I talk boxing, so I think it only helps if Benavidez shines, and that's why I'm trying to, give him somewhat of a boost.
Well, just to clarify, I don't think there was a lot of hating about Benavidez. It was just people. I think like some of the guys were pointing out the fact that it's a little bit too apparent that they're pushing this Mexican angle, whereas it wasn't there 5 years ago. But I mean, hey, listen, again, look, as long as the guy fights well and they put on an entertaining show, I don't care where the person claims they're from or where they're actually from. As long as you put on a show, that's the whole concept and subject of this whole episode today. Put on good fights, stop overcharging, and we'll be all right.
Well, there it is. I think that sums it up. So, man, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Man, you guys are hardcore boxing fans.
Well, thank you for having us, man.
Yeah. No, I can't do it. I can't do it by myself. I was trying to talk about Nakatani and Inoue, but I don't know. Maybe it's gonna take some time for that to. I don't think it's really gonna catch fire.
The Nakatani Inoue thing, yeah, I think it's about as good. Some people have been trying to push it. I've been trying to push it, but you can only get so far with those two.
Yeah, everybody wanted to talk about Zurdo and Benavidez, and you still got Munguia Resendiz. But this is it, man. This is the biggest event of boxing. So you're gonna be going hardcore this week.
I'm gonna try to. I mean, how much more can you? I mean, you know what I mean. Like there comes a point where you've said it all, and how much more can you say?
Well, these guys love to argue, man. They love to go on and go back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, if we can do an open lines and if there's enough interest for that, then yeah, why not? I noticed that before the Fury fight, nobody really cared. It was after that people had a lot to say afterwards. So maybe it might be similar with Benavidez.
Well, I guess because and last point, and I'll let you go is after this, man, it gets dry again because Rico Van Horve and Usyk is not. I mean, how much can you really get out of that?
What's
your Sean and Albright? Like, how much can you really get out of that?
What's your malfunction, Rico? But no, listen. I mean, you got it's not just that. I mean, then the week after this, so after like on Saturday the 9th, we've got Wardley versus Dubois. I'm looking forward to that one.
But that's UK. It's like,
hey man, the UK. Nobody does it better than the UK fans.
No, I know, but just as far as like the interest that is generated.
I mean, do you think Dubois? I mean, excuse me, Benavidez versus Zurdo has generated that much interest?
I mean, enough to do like at least 2-3 show. Come on and talk boxing that the people want to tune in.
So you're expecting to do 2-3 shows this week? That's the
schedule.
No,
I can only do maybe 1 or 2, and then I listen to you because
Should we do the you recall the comparative analysis?
Yeah.
You think we should do that one?
Yeah, Zurdo Benavidez. Oh yeah, definitely. You got to do a comparative analysis. That's a good 3 hours.
Yeah, that would be a good 3 hours. Should we do it open panel or?
No, don't. I mean, no way, because you won't get any traction.
We won't get anywhere. Yeah,
maybe an hour and a half. We'll do it. I mean, not we, you and your.
But you won't show up.
Well, no, I'm saying your minions will help you, but then maybe the second, let people come in and talk shit to us.
Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah.
The first half hour, break it down, and then you can get an hour and a half. That'll be a 3-hour show for sure, at least. And then let people talk shit about the comparative analysis.
You know what? That would be good. That's a good idea right there.
I mean, Nakatani, you can do a comparative analysis there because I think people are sleeping on Nakatani. He's a really good fighter, man.
Well, I'm looking at it from a business perspective here, Frankie, because I'm thinking I would prefer to do it on Nakatani Inoue, but would that garner as many views as Benavidez Zurdo?
No, that's a 3-hour. That's a 3-hour at least.
We'll see how we do it, man. We'll see how we do it.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Carl, Nober Silvers, BDA. This is a Super Bowl, guys. I'm losing steam right now, but yeah, this is a Super Bowl of boxing. It don't get no bigger than this. It's not Canelo Alvarez. It's not Floyd Mayweather. It's not Oscar de la Hoya. But let me get the shots out. Eric Gomez, Chillin' Distributor, Bulbous, BBC, Exponer. Haven't seen you in a minute. Rafael Garza. Hit the like, subscribe. You know, Hawker. It was a lot of people today. Even Booty Loose. Booty Loose was in here cooking. Rafael Garza, Rafa, Bruce Gaz, Diaper Dandy, everybody, man. Pounds Box Sale. Man, we went really long today. But with that, I think we're just going to get out of here. And like, subscribe to BDA. Like, subscribe to Frank Bay. BDA will be doing some shows, like he said. Inoue Nakatani, Zurdo Ramirez. You've also got a good undercard. Oscar Durote. Is Bucho not allowed here? Yeah, man. Bucho be going strong. They dropped the film analysis. I don't really do it. They have the tools to do the film analysis. They got there's certain programs they use. I don't really get into that. I just like to talk. But damn, I thank everybody, man. Really, really good stream. Thank everybody. I'll see you guys next time, and we out.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Frank Bay.